Well, a very good evening to you, race fans. Welcome on in for this very special event. It's been a long time since we had a Thursday night MC Motorsport broadcast, but here we are. It is, believe it or not, the second birthday for MC Motorsport. That has come around so quickly, but here we are 2 years on from kicking off this league, and what better way to celebrate it than with a night of just a bit of fun out on track. This is, of course, the MC Motorsport Birthday Bash. It's the Aussie Daytona 500 Gen 3 V8 Supercars around Daytona International Speedway. And look, we ran something pretty similar to this last year, and it was interesting to say the least. So we're going to see just how many of these guys can actually hold it together this evening, and how many it goes very, very sideways for. My name is Jared Cole. I am just waiting at the moment on my colleague Boone Blake, who is planning on joining us all the way from the USA. So stupid o'clock in the morning for Boone. Hopefully he's made his way out of bed, and he'll be with us shortly. It is very, very early AM for him. So. But he is planning to come on along and give us a bit more insight onto this track and into driving ovals, because I'll be honest, I don't really get ovals. I don't get it, and I think I'm probably not alone in the field here tonight. There's going to be plenty of drivers out there who, don't necessarily have a lot of experience pack racing around an oval, and it is sure to provide for some entertainment for us all at home. So strap yourselves in. Qualifying is done. We are only a few minutes away from a race start here, and we have 125 laps ahead of us of the Daytona International Speedway. The real question, though, will be how many of those are done under caution. I'm tipping just quietly that we're only going to make it through maybe an opening lap before we see the first yellow flag come out here tonight. But I've been wrong before. It could happen again here this evening. I don't know about that based on what I saw in the practice session, though. A lot of drivers breaking a lot of parts on the Gen 3 Supercars. I've never seen them shatter into so many pieces as what we've seen already this evening. And I don't imagine it's going to be any different come race time. There's a bunch of drivers here that you will recognise, if not from the MC GT3 series that is currently running, then certainly from previous series and the MC V8 series that finished up, what was it, probably about 10 or 12 weeks ago now. And look, we are set to see a real mixed bag of drivers here across the evening. Taking a look at the results from qualifying, just to give you an idea of how they will line up. And let's be honest, this probably won't mean a huge amount of anything when it does actually come to the end result, because it won't take long for this to fall apart, I suspect. Luke Patton and Jared Burns from Blackhawk Motorsport qualifying 1-2 with a 0.000 qualifying time match. That is incredibly close, and the two Blackhawk Motorsport cars, probably the only ones that I saw out there during practice who demonstrated some kind of idea of bump drafting. So they might lead this one all the way from the front. Hayden Veld comes home in third. Scott Bartine ahead of Josh Harris, then Mitch Curry, Rory Collins, Ryan Palmer, James Grant and Dean Powell rounding out the top 10. Jet Saragi's in there from Team Max Boost, as well as Thomas Cool with Luke Speck and Brian East behind them. Isaac Edwards finally gets to get out of the safety car tonight and out of the race control booth, and will be out on track for Race on Oz in the 000. Came home in 15th. Rafael Custodio in 16th. Jackson Starrett racing for Rusty's bumper ointment. Good to see him there. John Williamson is in at 18th. Darren Lofton and Alistair McLeod just behind him, rounding out your top 20. Ian Ward and Chris Nankiville not setting a time either, so we'll be starting from the back. But with a field of 22 Gen 3 Supercars, I don't think it'll matter a great deal. And as you can see, the qualifying times really not very different at all. The warm-up session just finishing up now. We are racing under lights here at Daytona tonight, so strap yourselves in, ladies and gents. Keep me company in the chat as well. That would be very much appreciated, because otherwise it could get to be an interesting and lonely place for me here in the booth. So yeah, please do keep me company up here. That'd be great. It's great to have you all along, of course, for this very special event, the MC Motorsport Birthday Bash, just about to get underway here. We've got drivers gridding up. We will have, thankfully, we will have a rolling start. I was a little concerned that we were going to try a a standing start. I can tell you from experience with this group as well that the rolling start just does not work. So or rather, the standing start doesn't work in a Gen 3 supercar on these banks. Yeah, it ended up with a lot of cars into the wall before they even crossed the start line last time around. So expect probably a bit more of the same, but it won't at least be off the start here tonight. We are just about ready to get underway. All the drivers are set up in the pit lane and ready to get rolling behind the iRacing safety truck. And I imagine that the choice of safety car has been very, very intentional because, you know, racing in America, it should be a big truck, shouldn't it? Welcome on in, folks. Good to have you all along. I see a few names that I recognise. Matty Morgan is back with us again, which is great to see, as well as Simon Kaplis. So, mate, I hope your shoulder is doing okay. I know that was a really, really big hit you took over the weekend, so hopefully you're recovering all right, mate. Do look after yourself. We have a formation lap to get through here, and we will be racing for the start of this 125 lap special event. I'm going to be impressed if we actually manage to get cars formed up into two reasonably decent lines here. But I'm not convinced we're going to get that yet. But it does look like, although we're seeing cars diving all over the shop already, yeah, look, it might be exactly as interesting as we thought it was going to be on the opening lap. Place your bets in the chat, folks. I'll put a poll up at some point if I can figure out how to do it at the same time as watching what's going on with the race. Let's go first safety car, lap 1, first 10 laps. Where do you think this is coming in? I'll chuck a poll up there for everybody as we do get ready to go green here at Daytona. Still, we're trying to get some kind of heat in the tyres and some sort of formation set up as we come around onto the home straight. Well, I suppose it's not really straight after all, is it? The safety car will peel off in just a moment. And here we go. The green flag held aloft. Barry is up there in the starter's booth. The starter stand just about ready to get underway. As we come towards the line, they're bunching up. Here we go. Green flag, green flag, green flag. We are underway. The Daytona 500, the MC Birthday Bash gets moving. And immediately, Jared Burns out in front picks up a black flag for his troubles. A bit of a jump start there. Maybe we're just passing a little bit too early. But we find ourselves underway very, very quickly. And it has been a clean start to this race here this evening as we get up towards top speed very, very quickly on the way out. These cars absolutely flying around this place, and we'll see pretty soon. You can see already a bit of a wiggle going on from the Blacklock Motorsports entry of Dean Powell and that outside line. Little tap of the wall as well as he tucks in behind. And is that Ryan Palmer's car? That very we have our first caution already. And the safety car will come out. I'm not quite sure who it's been down the back somewhere, but there's been a big incident. Mitch Curry, Darren Loughnan, Thomas Cool getting some damage there as well. So something's happened in the background, and it's been a pretty sizable one to get us started. So lap 1, there we go. The pole not really required. We kind of all knew what was going to happen there, didn't we? So we didn't actually even make it beyond lap 1, technically speaking. Let's go back and see if we can get any kind of idea of what happened. I think Jet Saragi might have been caught up in that as well. The iRace replay coming in clutch as always. Oh yeah, big moment up on the wall there, and some of the guys almost made it through and ended up a little bit further down. Yeah, I'd be blaming Ryan Palmer as well, honestly. I don't think he was anywhere near that one, but I'll still blame him. Nothing wrong with that. But a few drivers needing to get those repairs done and get back out. Oh, look at it. That's an interesting move going in. There's a few drivers here who really do love that Daytona chicane and just cannot abide not taking it. It's the bus stop. And there are some drivers, not surprised to see Ryan Palmer, one of them, who just can't help themselves. They have to get down there and they have to take that. We are going to get the race radio up for you as well, folks. If you'll bear with me, we didn't quite have the time to get it switched on before the race. But we will turn the race radio on so we can hear what's going on out there on track as well. As we will go another lap under safety car, which gives us a little bit of time to sit back and get that all in place for you. We'll turn the voice chat on and cross our fingers that hopefully these guys behave themselves on the radio tonight. At the very least, if they can behave themselves on track, that'd be a pretty good start as well. Need to figure out the right-hander. This is the thing for me tonight, Simon. The Gen 3 Supercars not exactly known for enjoying sustained load on their tyres. I can't think of anywhere you'd go with a more sustained load than an oval. It's basically a giant left-hander that never ends. So to try that in a safety car environment is probably about the only way these tyres are going to last. The tyres will get absolutely chewed here. Luke Patton is drafting that safety truck at the moment. It's not going to do anything for him at all, but why not get in behind? It looks like we have one more lap as we see is that Hayden Feld going out and taking the bus stop there. It does look like we'll get another lap of safety car here, and this is of course one of the look, I don't know if joys is the right word, but it is one of the features of...
It's exhilarating racing so far.
Hayden Veld enjoying himself, clearly.
You're making it exciting for yourself.
One of the features of the iRacing safety car, which we don't usually use.
Exciting for the guys down the back that were pinballing off the walls.
I immediately regret not having a mute button for that, folks. But anyway, one of the features, of course, with the iRacing safety car is we can't actually do less than a certain number of laps.
Like.
Well, I can already tell that I've made this difficult for myself tonight by agreeing to have the race radio on for this broadcast. So bear with me, folks. I'm committed to it. We're gonna let it flow. And see if we can keep up with it, but it might be a little bit disjointed here this evening as a result. It does look like we should have
I'll
wait for confirmation.
At the next caution, because we're probably guaranteed to have another one within the next probably 4 minutes.
Yeah, no surprises there. Safety car lights are out. We are getting a confirmation there. The safety car will be in on this lap. I don't think it's actually possible to hit the pace car. Simon, I'm pretty sure you just phased through it, if memory serves. It'd be nice if they added collision physics to it, although can you imagine the average iRacing official session driver trying to avoid the safety car? I don't know if it's something they're even capable of. We'll be going green in just a moment. It's a much slower lap under safety car than what these guys will generally be expecting. And again, Hayden Veld ducking off to take the bus stop, just for the fun of it here this evening. Thomas Cool's birthday today. Well, that's a change. How are you, Gaga? Good to have you in, mate. We are getting ready to get racing again. We'll go on board with the gap cam for Hayden Veld on this restart. And this will give us a nice little view of proceedings as the safety car peels off in just a moment. We'll wait now to get the green flag officially and see if we can make it through a couple more laps for the next safety car. Sounds like there's potentially a bit of cheeky overlap happening a little bit further back in the field. The green flag is out. We are racing once again, and Patton leads us off down at the main straight. I mean, it's a couple of little straights here at Daytona, but I'm going to keep calling it the main straight all the same. And away we go, racing once again. Yeah, I don't know how Jackson Starr's doing there.
Touch your butt all the way to the lead. Touch your butt all the way to the lead, Bo.
Hayden Veld will be a source of constant amusement here tonight. Ryan Palmer getting the nudge along there as they work in tandem. A bit of bump drafting. It never goes astray if you can pull it off. Somehow, Palmer and Veld have managed to do that. I'm not exactly sure how. Keeping a close eye on the background. Mitch Curry and Thomas Cool still down a lap, not getting the wave around this time as Scott Bartine starts to make a move up the outside. He's gone the high line here. He's got plenty of pace from being tucked in behind. Whether he'll lose it here, it'll be interesting to see whether he can actually pull a bit of side draft out of Ryan Palmer and slow that inner side lane down. He's certainly giving it a shot. He's starting to move towards. There it is, the side draft being blamed there for Ryan Palmer's lack of pace. And I don't know if I'd cop that, honestly. Yeah, you're not wrong, Simon. Hayden loves being right in, tucked behind the bum of the car in front. Nice little bit of bump drafting. And here we go. We're getting a little bit loose, a little bit wild with this formation here. It's getting a little unsettled, but the top group holding it together. There's a bit of a gap back from this crew to the group behind. There's not much in it, but Ian Ward finding himself just separated a little as this second pack starts to flow on through.
If we go caution, it's Mitch's fault.
And the position swapping around so quickly at front. And look at the pace on this. Just absolutely flying here tonight. We'll try and get on board with Josh Harris in just a moment and see what we can see from his perspective, because he's right in the middle of it at this stage. And yeah, not a particularly friendly place to be at the best of times. Yeah, look, I'm as surprised as everyone else is out there that we've gotten through a couple of laps here fairly cleanly. It's we spoke too soon. Scott Bartine gets punted into the wall, hits it hard. Ian Ward gets caught as well, and here we go.
Keep going.
That is a huge crash. Alistair McLeod gets it backwards, tries to flick it around, can't quite do it. He was doing a great job to keep running there.
Damage check, please.
And,
no race control, brother.
We just had the big one, fellas.
There's a flag being called. Ryan Palmer will take control of that. We'll go back and have a good look at that one in a moment.
I was glued to the back of Josh Harris so closely that I managed to make a pass through the inside of his car.
Do you want to look at the infield, Jackson?
Hey?
Do you want to look at the infield?
Jackson Starrett enjoying himself far too much already. We'll see if we can.
Where's the dolphin out, though? What the?
We can pick up exactly where that all went wrong.
Sorry. Dang it, Rory.
Caution's out. Caution.
Jackson Starrett just gets a little bit on the inside, and Scott Bartine up into the wall. Very, very hard.
The timing on that was absolutely perfect.
Sorry, what was that, mate? Wobbler, mate. Absolute wobbler.
Oh yeah, I take the cake for the wobbler, bro.
I know that you folks. I'm kind of looking forward to the next MC GT3 race when all of these guys forget that they're not actually allowed to chat away on the radio in a normal race session. I reckon there's going to be a few people penalised for improper use of race radio, and I am here for it. We'll absolutely be turning the radio back off, of course, before next round. But for tonight, at least, we'll enjoy it. as the safety car leads around again. A few drivers coming in for repairs. Dean Power currently carrying a meatball, as is Brian East, Isaac Edwards, Scott Bartine, unsurprisingly. But quite a few drivers now just coming in to get a bit of a top up, some new tyres, maybe a little bit of light damage to be repaired for a few of them as well. We'll try and find where's he gone? Josh Harris. We're still with him. The wave rounds going on here. We might just see if we can bring him on in a moment. As we're joined in the booth now, Mr. Josh Harris. How are you, my friend?
Good, mate. How are you?
Oh, look, it's an interesting place to be, the comms booth, on a night like tonight. A big old happy birthday to MC Motorsport, of course. And
yeah, absolutely.
What a way to celebrate it, mate. You got a pretty good seat for that last one, didn't you?
Yeah, I went straight through the other cars. We can thank iRacing for that. It was a little bit of fun. It was it's what happens, I guess, when Ryan Palmer's spun under the safety car for the second lap in a row.
Ryan, mate, I don't know if that's where you're meant to go.
Yeah, no, look, I saw that all.
I don't think drifting is your forte. You need to know when to give it up.
Sorry, Josh. We've got the race radio on, and Hayden Feld can't help himself. So we're not going to be able to hear over those guys as they chat away either. For the record.
I was just born with the talent.
Oh dear. No, that's Yeah, no, look, there. It was a little bit of fun. I had Jackson Starrett, who got a run through my car somehow.
Yeah, we did hear about that on the race radio. Any clue as to how he managed that? That's a pretty impressive side draft.
I'm having some sort of really minor dropout issues. So he was giving me a push, and then I just flickered for a second, and in that exact moment that I flickered, he got a run on me, and then he quite literally drove through my car, and I just resumed tucked in behind him, and the way we went cost me a position, but that's okay. And then, yeah, he got onto the back of Scotty.
That rusty bumper doesn't look very clean.
And as soon as he got onto the back, he committed some absolute murder.
Yeah, good thing Rusty is keeping it very clean.
Cooper Field and Hayden Veld in the same race in the same radio chat is a dangerous combination. Throw Jackson Starrett into the mix as well, mate. How are you planning to keep your sanity across the remaining 115 odd laps?
You see, the trick to maintaining sanity is to have some to start.
I see. Passing on the yellow.
So we're just out here to have a bit of fun and see how many laps we can get before we get involved in the big one for the first time. So far, I've managed to sneak around pretty well. Hopefully I'll tuck in behind these guys in front of me this lap. We're going green this lap, and hopefully I can just chug along and get through to the next safety car without anyone taking me out.
Well, mate, I think Simon Caplet has the right attitude to this in the chat right now. This is going to be a long night.
I am pace-struck.
Yeah. Look, absolutely. I don't know whether we're going to get our laps done or hit time, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. We
should completely drive past the pace cars. I'm telling you.
There goes.
Oh, now. How's the drifting going now, Hayden?
There's been a vintage.
And we're
got the tyre
as well. So we're going to have to tuck up here and let's go racing.
Mate, we will let you get back to it as we get back around to the green flag. Feel free to give Ryan Palmer a bit of a nudge off into the wall for us, and we'll check in with you a little bit later. Have fun, mate.
Thank you, mate.
Josh Harris there. I'll shift him on back to another channel so that he can go and chat to all his friends up there, and no doubt we will hear some more from him very, very shortly. And immediately we've got them around. Jetsaragi gets caught up in that in a big way, and we've got a huge incident as they pile on in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10 cars all caught up in that. Jetsaragi, the one that sort of set it all off there, as we see another safety car called, and we will be back under caution. I'm not quite sure who it was that tagged Saragi, but it was more than enough to send him sideways. A bunch of cars get caught up in that one. We'll see if we can find exactly where that all went wrong. It's a bit of a tricky one on an oval, of course, trying to figure out exactly where the incidents happen, because of course they don't tend to slow down quite as much in the ovals as they do on the circuit race. As Ryan Palmer goes flying by the pace truck again. I'm seeing a bit of a theme here. He doesn't quite know how to brake in these cars, but anyway, he will maintain the lead for the moment. Somehow Josh Harris didn't take him out. I'm a little disappointed, to be honest. Let's head on back and we'll see if we can find exactly where it all went wrong for Saragi.
Scotty, you should be able to get past, brother.
Can I have a black flag clear? I got it for going into the pits with it being closed. Is that allowed?
There you go, a little bit of a nudge there from the truck assist entry. I'm not quite sure who that was, but certainly set it all off. And we find ourselves under safety car once again tonight here, folks. 13 laps in, 125 laps. We're 10% of the way there. This is safety car number 3 by my count. So we are on track. Who was it earlier that predicted, what was it, about 50 safety cars? I think that might have been you, Simon Caplet. But a predictable start. There you go. Caplet Motorsport at 8:04 p.m. predicting 50 safety cars. This is number 3. We'll be on track at this rate for somewhere around 30 safety cars if they keep up this pace of crash incident rate, which, given the field that we have here tonight, looks fairly certain to happen, I think. Somehow, though, Ryan Palmer continues to sit in front. Jackson Starrett, full credit to him, up 15 positions into second. The Rusty's bumper ointment entry is surviving nicely at the moment. Dean Powers had a bit of a rough night.
High tyre wear around here. So, yeah, my group right was down to 7%.
I do want to go back and have a look and see what it was that Hayden Veld managed to do to himself as well, because he's managed to lose it under safety car somewhere.
Hey Scott, can you pass me please? It says I need to let you by.
Well, we'll see if we can find that one, although we are about to go green again. Veld finds himself a long way back.
Well, that's what you're doing.
Let's take a look at this.
Are you trying to take me out? What are you doing?
Well, we are just about to go green flag race again. I'll keep looking and see if we can find how it is that Veld managed to put himself off to the side of the track. I think maybe just getting a little bit excited about the idea of drifting a Gen 3 supercar on an oval circuit. Jackson Starrett and Josh Harris going for an early run under the green flag. Ryan Palmer, I'm not quite sure what happened off the line there. Maybe getting just a little bit distracted. Do I want Veldcam on the stream? I mean, why not? If he's willing to.
Becky, push me! What are you doing?
He should know where the link is for that.
I'm a little bit curious as to how we've been dropped by the pack in half a straight. Just sort of wondering what we were doing at the start for this to happen.
Yeah, that was my bad. I was paying attention to the stream and not what was going on in front of me, and sort of missed the start there.
Nice to know that Cooper Field is watching
Mate,
while
you
he
have
drives.
to be 100% focused on the track at all times, alright?
And this is looking like a very, very messy little pack we've got going on up front. Josh Harris. And around goes Luke Speck. Gets unceremoniously pushed off to the side. I think we'll avoid a yellow flag here, potentially.
Move to daisies.
Isaac Edwards might have had a little bit more to do with that than he's letting on. We might have to go back and see if there's a post-race incident to be reviewed there. As Luke Speck ends up with a black flag, I think he might have slid. He might have actually slid across the pit entry, and so has picked up a black flag for an unsafe pit entry. There it is, Luke Speck confirming an unsafe pit entry as he slid off the track and into the pits. Well, contact there for Ryan Palmer. He's just going to hold that together, but gets a big wiggle on as Darren Lofton makes contact with the side of his Mustang. Lap 17, and we are still green for the moment. The front four, Harris, Palmer, Starrett, and now Darren Lofton getting in on it as well. The group immediately behind is not too far off the back, led by Isaac Edwards, who finds himself in a bit of a hole in between the two packs. Alistair McLeod and Luke Patton at the head of this second group, desperately hoping for a little bit of a push along from perhaps the Sideways Esports guys behind. Scott Bartine's managed to find himself back up in this group as well, though. So he's recovering nicely, and somehow Mitch Curry still hovering around that top 10. And I'll be honest, I'm just going to turn up my my audio here, because I don't often get to listen to Gen 3 Supercars hitting over the track. Oh, we've got a big one. Josh Harris gets caught up in it. He's around, he's sideways, he's backwards. He's going to come back across the middle of the track. Everyone doing an amazing job avoiding him. The front right absolutely destroyed. As,
lucky boy, Hayden.
As we have 6 drivers with meatball flags there. Grant, Palmer, Lofton, a whole bunch of them. Now Starrett and Edwards find themselves
by far the greatest move I've ever made in my entire career.
And there is the yellow flag.
I reckon move of the year for MC. I reckon that should be like, have its own Discord chat.
That's because I had the new tyres, mate. Would have been able to do that earlier.
Now, a lot's happened there. I don't quite know who set that one off. We will find it, though, relatively easily, I'm sure. But bear with me, folks, as I try and track down exactly where that all started. Because, yeah, it was probably not what Josh Harris had in mind. And I do wonder if there might have been a little bit of a helping hand from perhaps a teammate there. Might have even been Ryan Palmer, who on the way past has given him a bit of a... Oh, there's actually... Okay, there you go. So a bit of contact at the front has been a big part of that. Harris copping the brunt of the impact. But that was one of the Sideways Esports cars. That was Darren Lofton, who got pushed around there pretty heavily by the look of things. So keep your eye on Darren Lofton. He comes down across the nose of Jackson Starrett, gets himself all out of shape, manages to keep going, but then another touch with Ryan Palmer, and yeah, that's all she wrote. They just continue to pile into the back. The brakes just cannot pull these cars up from that pace, and we've got a...
Happy birthday, Tom!
A whole bunch of...
anyone can pit whenever. I'll just clear your penalties once everyone's out of the pits.
There's Ryan Palmer being much kinder than usual to the guys out of track. Luke Speck doing okay there. I did notice just at the back of that group...
Are we doing wave around?
Might have been Darren Lofton,
I'll do wave around. I just needed to catch the back of the pack.
Was driving that...
too easy.
A very, very heavily damaged front right. It wasn't turning for a long time there. But he'll come in and get that repaired up. Meanwhile, Isaac Edwards, missing being in the safety car tonight, is trying to be in the safety car as best he can, which you know, is what he's used to seeing, I suppose. So to be expected from the 000 JTIT Race on Oz entry. Luke Patton still right there at the front. They're 3 wide because they can be, I think. at least for the moment.
Luke, get behind me.
And there's the race controller coming out in Edwards as we go now 3-4 wide. The wave round's coming as well. So not
we're trying to hurry up the safety car, sorry.
It's not perhaps the cleanest method for it, but a few drivers getting themselves
Hey,
unlapped
what are you
here.
doing?
John Williamson and Dean Powell are both on the, at least a lap down at the moment. As Edwards takes the bus stop to just keep some heat in the tyres. Lap 20 of 125 here, folks. And yeah, look, it's going to be a long night at this rate. Don't know about the safest 3 wide ever, but it's at least behind a safety car. That's something. You may not be completely wrong there, Simon. And I'm going to abuse the good-natured kindness of Josh Harris and bring him back in to have a chat to us again. Mr. Harris, we've pulled you back in, mate. How's things going out there for you? That was probably not.
Oh my goodness! There's stuff going on everywhere behind me. Yeah, that was huge.
Specky, you gotta come up here, brother.
Just couldn't.
Same as John.
Just couldn't manage to find a way to get out of that 3 wide debacle, and yeah, ended up in the fence, and lots of people crashed around me. So,
well, mate, it had to happen eventually. Is that the big one you were hoping for, or you actually were kind of looking forward to something a little bit bigger than that?
To be fair, I wanted to avoid the big one. I wanted everyone else to have the big one. Anyway, I got to run at the front. There's still, 2.5 hours or 100 laps. It doesn't matter, right? Like it's all just a bit of fun at the moment.
Yeah, look, I don't think you can treat this race as anything but a bit of fun, honestly. Or you might not survive it mentally. So we'll let you get back in. We won't hold you all the way to the green flag, but glad to see that you are back on track at least, mate. And I imagine you're pretty happy for a good count of fast repairs available.
Unlimited fast repairs, and yeah, no, look, I'm happy to hang out, mate. If you want, I'm happy to be.
Well, that's gone very, very wrong for Luke Patton. We happen to be looking right at that as contact was made there.
Man, if you guys are going to be taking that bus up, you got to be looking out on the re-entry.
We're going to go back and have a look at that. We'll leave you to it, Josh. Have fun, mate. We'll talk again soon.
All right, mate. Thank you.
And Josh Harris, I think getting a pretty good view of that from further back in the group. I'll just make sure we've got him back to the correct channel up there. He's back where he belongs for the moment. Not quite sure. I wasn't quite looking at that one when it happened, but Alistair McLeod may be a little bit ambitious on taking the bus stop there and not quite rejoining in the most credible of ways. But regardless, this is going to be interesting. Brian East and Isaac Edwards, probably the only 2 drivers I would even come close to saying are oval track specialists in the MC Motorsport stable of drivers. They find themselves at the front of the field. That is a very, very dangerous place for them to be. For the rest of the drivers, of course, it will depend on just how much of a push along these guys can get, and whether they can do it safely or not. We are 3 wide though off the bank, and Hayden Veld in the middle is looking probably a little uncomfortable at the moment. That's reasonable. A big slide at the top for Darren Lofton as he loses traction. We've got 3 wide forming up right through the field as we come on down towards another banked turn here, and Thomas Kuhl just starts to drop down a little bit forward. Hayden Veld having far too much fun. Look at the move down from Stout as he switches line. That was right across the nose of Isaac Edwards in the race on North Entry. A bit of a flashing lights there at the front. This is going to be a huge one when this kicks off, folks. It's just a question of who's going to set up. We've got him into the wall up the top. I think that might have been Ian Ward. And there's a video. There it is. Sideways for Thomas Cooper from Kuala Cartel. Only 2 cars caught in at the moment, but here they come. Mitch Curry tags and then hits the bottom. And I think that might have been a Ryan Palmer as well.
95 down to the 3. Silver 17 and C5 Robert Still.
And there is the safety car being called again.
Car, bud. Hey. You trying to do moon car?
I'm glad I'm not the only one confused by the question from Isaac Edwards. Did he say moon car? Did he say moon car?
Say again.
Are you trying to be like moon car?
Does anyone in the chat have any idea
Have you
what
not
he's
seen
talking
the
about?
clip of the random late model race and old mate's like, what is it? The Robin like an R. Keller video 95 down to the 3. Silver C5 and 17 Robin Still. Trying to take some old memory away to C5, Robin the door to 17. Now here comes the 77.
No, I have not seen it. Hope that helps.
Contact between the C5 and here comes the 71. Boom! Gator jumped the wall. Wow! Kate Kegley Woods going up the gutty.
I think we got it, Hayden.
Wow! Stand on your feet, wide of Burr Speedway. They're putting on a hell of a show in the 6. Oh! Steel Woods and C5 going at it again.
Bud, please, shush.
Wow! I'll put the video in the chat if you want.
Hayden, you are being
muted, my guy.
That was
I didn't quite get the start of that. Can you just replay the start bit?
that was something there.
Well, it actually starts with 2 guys having a fight on the side, so it's probably a little bit hard to do that.
Does anybody have any idea what just happened? I tried to follow it, I really did. I appreciate Haydenville giving me a bit of a break on the mic, yeah,
I
look,
got a question. If I get a 30x and a penalty,
It's got something out for me, bud.
do I have to serve now?
Yes.
Caplet Motorsport. What, do you want to go? Do you want to go? Matty Morgan too.
Wait, did anyone hear what my question was? Just wondering.
Yes, you have to serve it.
we go back to the incident with Alison McLeod
I think
coming
I
back
cleared
across
it
from
for
the
you.
bus stop.
If I did, I'll reserve it you.
And that was exactly
No,
where
I'm not
Haydenville
there
got
yet.
tagged.
I was just wondering. Hey, Ryan, I'll pay you some more money if you want to keep clearing it.
Well, you have a cone under your car, so good luck with that for the other 101 laps we've got to go.
I'll pay you money to get rid of that.
Yeah, I don't know if Bells has actually been muted by. I don't know if Bells actually been muted by race control or whether he's actually just done after that monologue. But in either case, it's a little bit of relief for those of us watching this one. As the safety car heads towards the pits again. Lap 25 of 125. We are 20% of the way there, folks. And I'm starting to wonder, you know, do we actually have enough time in this session to get to the end, or are we going to be time limited? And we should have plenty up our sleeve at least. But we go green flag racing once again. And Brian East and Haydenville, what a start they've had on this particular restart. Just absolutely waltzing away from the field at the moment. Darren Lofton left in their dust. As we go on board with Haydenville, 306 kilometres an hour tucked in behind Brian East.
Yeah, pretty good, bro. I got nice company from him down there.
It does make me wonder, as we see a big moment in the background. Another crash happens further back in the field. It might bring on another safety car. We'll have to wait and see. Cooper Field, Luke Speck, Ryan Palmer all getting caught up in that.
Wait till the next incident to throw another yellow.
Ryan Palmer getting tired of throwing yellow flags at this point, by the sound of things. And if you'll bear with me here, folks, I am trying to make a few background changes so that these safety car announcements are happening
Cleared, I've been
automatically,
given an unsafe entrance.
rather than me having to hit this every time that Ryan Palmer hits a button. Lofton goes around the outside ahead of East and Veld. Jackson Starrett tucked in behind as well. Then a bit of a gap back to Isaac Edwards and Rafael Custodio. But Veld continues to push on, and Lofton all on his own out there, not quite close enough to take advantage of the side draft. Here comes Jackson Starrett though, as they come down the back straight. If they can just get this happening, they might be able to push up alongside, but Veld and East working in tandem have the pace at the moment. That's the funny thing about professional drivers, Simon. It's the way I've always looked at it, especially when you talk about professional drivers on the road, truck drivers, cab drivers, etc. Just because they're professional, all that means is they do it as a job. It doesn't mean they're actually any good at it. So I wouldn't call anyone on track here a professional by any definition, if that's the way we're going to look at it. But side by side, we're actually doing all right here at the front end of the field. A little further back, Scott Bartine is in amongst another pack who are perhaps a little less organised. And that is going to go very, very wrong for John Williamson, who gets turned around.
I'm not clearing those ones.
Thomas Cool caught up in it again, tries to get going. He's spun the tyres. He's going to have to sit there and wait as the rest of the field comes through. A really, really awkward position. While up front, the front group showing how it's done for the moment. As a big miscalculation there from Starrett and
When's the
Lofton.
next portion?
Well, this is messy to say the least.
96 laps.
And again, Lofton goes high, trying to go around the outside. There is a fair bit of side draft available on these cars. We've seen it used to some effect tonight, but no. Oh, in the background, a big moment. Rafael Custodio, Isaac Edwards off the track. Edwards slides backwards, hits the wall hard. The rear bar comes off, the front bar comes off. Custodio, for his part, drives away fairly cleanly. But Isaac Edwards will have to limp that one back towards the pit bay. And I'm surprised we're not seeing any more safety car calls just yet. Well, we haven't had a properly big incident in a little while. I'm trying to get the feeling if it's going to happen, it'll be up here somewhere. All in all, though, everyone starting to spread out a little bit here and keep it clean. That's probably the biggest risk of a done safety car now, is actually having this field bunch up again. It's when they're all together that it's most dangerous. Although Hayden Veld looking a little dangerous at all times.
Realise that the force feedback is really high and like low curcularly out of breath.
I think Hayden Veld might just be out of breath from all the talking he was doing a little earlier on. That might have had something to do with it for him. Might I recommend a bit of a fitness program or something like that, Mr. Veld? That might come in handy. Bit of cardio never hurt a racing driver. Brian East maintains the lead for the moment, but side by side with Darren Lofton as these two rows try to put something together. Lofton and Starrett working well to get a little bit of bump drafting happening, and Lofton has the opportunity to come across the nose, doesn't do it. And so East is going to pick up the pace with that side draft again. Starrett's going to have to push on pretty hard. Behind them, Rafael Custodio, a long way further back. This is actually Thomas Cool that's running in with this group. He is all the way back in 17th, but finds himself tucked in with the leaders and trying to help them along as they open the gap further and further now, almost 6 seconds to Custodio. Very, very organised front group here. The only question will be how long until somewhere further back something goes horribly wrong, and this looks like it's where it's going to be. John Williamson goes very, very wide there. Mitch Curry looking in the rear view, probably wondering who it is that's going to take him out. Will it be Luke Patton? Will it be John Williamson? Will it be one of the lapped cars caught up in the middle of it as well? It is hard to predict at this point. Jet Saragi and Scott Bartine doing their best to try and catch Custodio here. The gap, though, continues to open further. Over 6 seconds now to the front four as Starrett and Veld find themselves swapping positions on the tower. Starrett's got a nice little run on that outside line, using the side draft to pull those lower cars back a little bit in pace, then opens it up again. Brian East moves up to provide a little bit of side draft and slow that top group down before tucking back in behind Lofton.
Just a suggestion.
Cooper Field back in 20th place.
Some form of green lap running, so I will have enough caution.
Cooper Field feeling like 20th place is a long way back at the moment.
For the first 30 laps probably indicates that we don't need a competition caution.
And Josh Harris on the money as always with his assessment of the situation.
Agree, I'll be honest.
As we reach lap 34 now, about to hit lap 35, we are actually starting to see something resembling some good oval racing here. It can't last, ladies and gents. A little further back, Custodio has been caught by Saragi and Bartine. They've both moved past. He's now going to try and tack onto the back of this group. A brilliant point there from Simon Kaplan. Good racing up front now. There's no ADHD cars involved. And maybe that is the key. After all, this trio battling it out for fifth, and then a long way back to Josh Harris behind him. You see him just coming out of the turn further back now. And he's got a lot of work to do to get back onto this one. Saragi, Custodio and Bartine just working together here as best they can to try and catch this front group. But the gap still hovering around 6 seconds. It has started to drop off a little bit, so just a little bit too much back and forth movement in this front group is costing them a little bit of pace. As we switch on over to keep an eye on the speed here for Hayden Veld, that's tucked right in the middle of this group. You can see just sitting a touch over 300k an hour. One of the things I am curious to see here, we know that the Gen 3 supercar engines do have some kind of damage modelling for over revving and frequent abuse being able to cause an accumulated level of damage that will pop the motor. I do wonder just how well they're going to hold up to running at full revs in sixth gear for 125 laps at Daytona. I guess if there's any other way to find out, we would have done it by now, but as it stands, we're going to let these guys run it and see if it happens. Brian Easton's still out in front.
Luke.
And John Williamson just...
Maximum top speed.
You know, I wonder, Luke Patton does appear to have a spoiler from our perspective. I wonder if there's just a little bit of a disconnect there.
Just on my phone, Ryan. Just a question.
Custodio just bouncing around a little bit in the middle of this group. Saragi and Bartine
What do you say, bro?
not quite tucked in as tightly together as they probably need to be at this point. Cooper Field still struggling
negative
with the idea of that cone being along with him. It looks
I
as
guess
though
that's
he's
fitting to
probably
the
okay.
intended work it after all.
Bear with us, folks, as I try and get a couple updates done here to just help us out when a yellow flag does inevitably arrive again. In hindsight, something I probably should have done pre-race, I'll be honest, but it will get us sorted for our next yellow flag. At least. Run it to the end, no safety cars, Matty. That's ambitious and perhaps a little bit hopeful, but with the amount of gap between some of these drivers at the moment, it just might happen. If this front group can keep it together like this, then we might just be a bit safer in predicting that. We've had almost, what, 10, 15 laps of really clean running at this point. The last yellow flag was, I've got to go all the way back. Last yellow flag, I think, was lap number 23. Well, that's not gone well, to say the least. Brian East somehow survives. Oh, and Hayden Veld's rejoin comes across, clips Thomas Cool, who wasn't up front anyhow, so no great impact on the standings. Jackson Starrett and Darren Lofton survive just barely. Brian East somehow gets away with phasing through Jackson Starrett's car.
I will just continue on.
And Darren Lofton picks
You
up a
ruined my
black flag for his
birthday
efforts.
with the drive-through. I cannot believe you, Mr. Veld.
Oh, happy birthday.
I still don't believe for a second it's actually Thomas Cool's birthday, but this is what you've done. I think it's Liam floating around here somewhere, isn't it? Anyhow, I no longer trust birthday announcements in the simple chat because they happen far too often, and I don't think it's ever actually been accurate. Darren Lofton and Jackson Starrett side by side rather than running in tandem at the moment. It's really allowing Brian East and Hayden Veld to work together to get back up to the front group, and they've closed this gap very, very quickly. Yeah, that absolutely could have been far, far worse than it was. Cooper Field just hot miking for the fun of it, it seems. We'll take a look back and see just how far off the circuit Hayden Veld actually ended up there, because it a big slide.
Campy, your mic's open.
From East, and Hayden Veld just decided to run straight on to avoid it all. The rejoin here was terrible, but with no race control, he'll probably get away with that one tonight, I reckon.
So,
Cooper Field has fallen asleep on his mic button. There we go. He's finally managed to undo that one, and somehow East gets back to the front of this group. Jackson Starrett's been doing a brilliant job with the bump drafting. Darren Lofton well outside of the pack now. Hayden Veld needs him to come down and start pushing
my
on.
left foot on the trot, so maybe a little bit terrible for a bit.
That is a terrifying prospect. Left foot braking is one thing. Left foot throttle is just not a natural state of affairs. And Hayden
I have a
Veld...
brick on my throttle, so if there's a crash, there's no stopping me.
See, the difference is I'm a respectable driver, so that's a difference between me and you.
A little bit of
We need
shade
to go
being
with
thrown out there.
Robbie NASCAR, is that thing to say?
And Ryan Palmer bringing Hayden Veld
I never
right back down to
actually
earth.
got to race in that league, mate, before I got banned, so yeah.
There's a story to be told there, I'm sure. I don't think it's one we're going to hear here tonight, folks. 43 laps down of 125. Still 80-odd laps left in this. But we've had a very clean run so far. As most of the field finds themselves spread out. Mitch Curry and Dean Powell with one of the SES cars. I think that might be Luke Speck. It is indeed Luke Speck, who has rejoined them.
Happy birthday to me.
Tom's School feeling very sad and sorry for himself, it seems.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
And
Yeah.
I had thought for a moment there that maybe race control had decided that Hayden Veld had used up his allocation of words for this evening. Apparently not. But surely that's got to come soon. So, as it
Can someone make
stands,
this race interesting, please? Thanks.
the movers and shakers here tonight.
You've already
Brian East.
murdered enough people to make it interesting. Maybe for a little while.
Brian East up 13 positions into the lead at this point in time. Jackson Starrett up 15 into second place and doing a brilliant job of keeping both of those cars in this race. Hayden Veld right where he started in third. Jet Saragi is up 7 into fourth. Rafael Custodio has snuck through the pack to be in fifth. He's up 11 spots. Then a succession of drivers who find themselves a couple of spots down from where they started. Scott Bartine, Josh Harris, Rory Collins and Mitch Curry. And Dean Powell rounds out the top 10 right where he started in the grid at the start of this race. 46 laps to go. The other movers tonight, Darren Lofton up 8, Luke Patton's fallen 11 so far. Ryan Palmer yet to recover from that earlier incident. He's down 5.
I let the first one go, but you can cut this for the second one.
And Hayden Veld apparently having a leg cramp. I'm surprised that he's not having a jaw cramp at this point as the most used muscle in his body in this race. But anyhow. I don't actually know. You could ask Hayden what's going on with his camera. It's not currently connected to the broadcast set. Where do we get to in that list? Incident. Luke Patton down 11 spots. Oh, there's contact there. Hayden Veld gets caught up with looks like Jet Saragi, and Veld heavily into the wall. And I don't think that car's going to continue on. Neither is Jet Saragi's, and surely that will bring on the yellow flag.
A toe and an ambo?
And Hayden Veld in the wall and not in good shape. Jackson Starrett got caught up in that one as well and is dragging the front end of that car around as best he can.
I'm not going to lie, I was sort of leaning down using my hand on the trot because both my legs cramped up. And I didn't really see anything until there was a car in my screen and then my steering wheel whacked me in my nose.
Well, that's a breakdown of what's just happened for you, folks. We'll have to go back and have a look at a couple of these because Cooper Field got caught up in it somewhere. The RSA chat show.
About 16 extra cent from Cooper.
Cooper Field just out of nowhere, bouncing across the track. But
thanks, mate.
Jet Saragi getting caught up with Veld.
Mate, I saw that first 2 hits and then the third one after that.
There might have been something a little bit further back than that even that set it all off. Might just have to try and find it. That might be the tricky part here. But bear with me, folks. We'll see if we can dig it up as the safety truck makes its way
and stuff, guys. Just we'll wait
through the field.
Is done.
I'll have to go back a little way here to see what exactly happened with Jet Saragi. But a big nudge there. I wonder if perhaps Hayden Veld was already having some issues before this all came about. That's still cool down on the low side. I think Hayden Veld might have been in trouble long before Saragi got there. By the look of this. Yeah, with us, it's just after this this corner here that it all seems to come undone. Was Veld coming out of the pits maybe, or something like that? In any case, our race continues here tonight. And plenty of the drivers finding their way into the pit base. Somehow Mitch Curry finds himself in the lead of this race as everyone pits in. It's a pretty disrupted running order at the moment. but Curry has found himself back at the front end of this race, while the next 9 drivers are all in the pits taking on fuel and tyres and getting some repairs done and clearing black flags as well. But looks like Scott Bartine's come back out. He's going to have a black flag still to serve. And now we wait to see how this all actually pans out. I take a look at Mitch Curry's last come in on lap 23, and so I wonder if perhaps he's just going to circulate for a little while longer. I would think that a lot of those front-running drivers will be getting very low on fuel, and that's why they've had to come in and spend quite a bit of time in the pits taking on a full tank there. Curry can't be far off it. Scott Bartine, the next in the race order. There's a few cars back. Hayden Belder's out of the rig getting his stretchers in. There's that physical fitness program that he needed earlier. And a whole lot of wave around here as the lapped cars get at least one of their laps back under this safety car period. Mitch Curry retaining the lead for the moment. Scott Bartine now tucked in behind, and the most likely really to be in a position to be leading this race for a little while longer.
Let it.
And we are slowly but surely, folks, getting towards the halfway point of this special event. The MC Motorsport Birthday Bash, 2 years of MC Motorsport operating this league. And look, I don't know that we should take tonight's racing as any reflection of the usual quality that we do see from this league, but a bit of fun. Gen 3 Supercars around the Daytona Oval for 500 kilometres tonight. And what a wild opening 250 odd Ks we've already had.
Stay in the pack here. Next safety car, I'll wave you around again.
So we'll see the safety car getting ready to come in this time around. And Mitch Curry will lead us away when we do get back to a green flag running. Safety car does its usual little jink away from the front of the pack. And we are green once again as Curry leads us across the famous start-finish line here at Daytona. Curry, Bartine and Patton all get a good start. Behind them, Rory Collins just a little bit slow off the mark. And here we go into turn 1 as they start to bunch back up. This is probably the most dangerous part of this race. We've got a lot of very quick drivers in close proximity. And at this point, Rory Collins will be at the head of the chasing group, likely to start getting a bit of a nudge along there. You can see the flash of lights from Jackson Starrett as he just encouraged him to keep that foot down. G'day, Jacinta. Interview Jackson Starrett. I'm more than happy to pull him on in here. I don't know if he'll be super keen on it, but we'll see if we can get some clearance on that first. A big bit of contact in the background. That's Bartine around and back into the wall. Collects another car. This is it. Oh, can't go anywhere. T-bones him. And we will be back under yellow flag in no time. Sure, somehow Scott Bartine's still rolling, although carrying a lot of damage out in front. Collins, Curry and Starrett. And we are back under safety car just as quickly.
Sorry if I crowded you a bit too much there, Scott.
I'm not entirely sure what Curry's doing there. He's just staying down low. Might be heading to the pits. Indeed, he is. Which I guess answers the question on just how much fuel he might have had. Thomas, the birthday boy, involved about 90% of the crashes. Yeah, look, I don't doubt it. I'll flick Jackson Starrett a message here and see if we can get him in for a quick chat. If by some miracle you happen to be in the same room as him, Jacinta, if you could let him know to jump into the interview waiting room, and we can get him on the radio here and have a bit of a word as we wait for some of these waiver rounds to happen and for the safety car to lead us around. And sure enough, we are joined in the booth by Jackson Starrett. G'day, mate. How are you doing?
How's it going? Yeah, not too bad. I've been running up the front the whole time.
Oh, look, you've had a pretty good run so far. You've managed to avoid most of the madness. But it's probably about your turn, isn't it?
Well, I took the Cletus McFarland approach. Carson Hocevar once said to Cletus McFarland, if you cause the wreck, there's a good chance you won't be in the wreck. And I think I've caused quite a few of the wrecks.
Look, I didn't want to point it out too drastically, but yeah, you're probably right. You've given a few nudges here and there. But that said, the work you're doing bump drafting tonight, especially pushing Brian East along a little bit earlier, mate, you are right in behind there and quite happy to give him a bit of a nudge along. Has everyone appreciated that so far? Or have there been a few that haven't been quite so keen on it?
I like to think I'm pretty friendly with the whole group, so I don't think anyone's angry at me. I haven't received any return serves yet, so...
Keyword might be yet in that sentence, I reckon, mate.
Yeah, I expect it'll come. I'm looking at Ryan Palmer. He's got a glorious face of me on his bonnet, so I'm expecting to get drilled by that at some point.
Well, that's always it's always a fun time as Rory Collins jumps on the radio. Sorry, we really can't hear anything over the race radio when they do start chatting away. The question from the chat there, incidentally, how many pit stops have people done? There you go. There's the number at the moment. It's getting up there. Rory Collins leading the race at the moment, has made 6 stops so far, which is a pretty significant number. But I guess that kind of shows that when it comes to Gen 3 supercar racing around Daytona, just about anything can be good enough to get you home. Is that the approach you're taking here, Jackson? Just throwing whatever at the wall and see what sticks?
Yep, absolutely.
Love it.
So far, I haven't stuck to the wall just yet.
Well, mate, there's still a good, 60, I can't even do the maths right now, 70 laps to go. So plenty of time to do it. But if you do want to give Ryan Palmer a bit of a nudge into the wall at some point for us, I asked Josh Harris to do it last time I spoke to him. He didn't come through, but if you do find yourself bump drafting him, just give him a nudge from me, will you?
Well, I did on the pace lap before the start of the race. I did work my way up to him and spin him into the infield. I don't know if you caught that, but that's probably one of my highlights of my whole career.
Honestly, mate, asking me to recall a specific incident after 54 laps of almost non-stop incidents is a bit much for a Thursday night.
True.
Yeah. So, I appreciate the guidance to go looking for it, but I don't think we'll find that one in amongst them all here tonight. Mate, we're about to go green flag again. We'll leave you to it and chat to you soon. Have some fun.
Alrighty.
Jackson Starrett, I will send back on up to the general chat.
Let's try to get some 4 green laps under the belt, yeah?
To hear Ryan Palmer asking for green flag racing of all people is an interesting one. Dean Power picks up a black flag in there somehow, and here comes Palmer up alongside Starrett, giving a big old nudge along to Loughnan. And somehow Loughnan finds himself back at the front of this group, but somewhere he's been a few times here tonight. So obviously doing something right to keep finding his way back up there. And perhaps a little bit of, maybe even a little bit of an interference play from Rory Collins as his teammate, but right now the two Sideways Esport cars are just leading this group as we make our way around. A few drivers asking for clearance.
That's an in-game black serve for a something? No.
And everyone a bit hopeful about getting black flags cleared. Ryan Palmer laying down the law once again.
The only one I'm really kind of doing are pit entries.
If ever you were wondering whether Ryan Palmer's capable of multitasking, he's holding about 300 k's an hour right now while just instructing on a black flag etiquette here for tonight's event. So an interesting one, to be sure. This is looking a little bit untidy in the middle here, and that's one of the Blackwood Motorsport cars, and it's Luke Patton caught up in it as well. Up the top, Dean Howe, just a little bit loose as well. But somehow they're managing to hold it together, although Isaac Edwards really aggressively moving his way past Luke Patton and trying to close in on Scott Barthine just up ahead. In case you did miss it earlier, the number of pit stops so far pretty significant for some of our drivers. Oh, that is a big spin in the background for Brian East. He's been punted into the wall very hard, manages to keep it rolling. But mate, Hayden joining with the Discord cam on is totally fine, but I can't feed that through to the broadcast. I'm sorry. It's we do run the broadcast cameras through. The video links through our broadcast software rather than screen capping from Discord. Which surely by this point Hayden would know. He's been around long enough and seen us run enough of those cameras to know that there's a website he just goes to. Look at this group at the front. 3 lanes of traffic, all pretty nicely coordinated at the moment. But if I was Jackson Starrett right now, I'd be feeling a little nervous being in the middle of it. This is what it looks like from the Starrett gap cam.
Done too wide.
And it's a nervous little place to be at the moment. A little bit of a shift there from Lofton. Goes very, very close to Collins on the lower edge as Starrett moves up to the high line to just extract himself from the middle of it. Now Scott Barthine sitting in the danger seat. And have a look at the side draft playing into this tonight. Causing a huge variance in speeds here. You don't usually see quite that much movement between the lanes of traffic, but here they come off the wall. Absolutely flat stick at the moment. Given we're not talking to Jackson Starrett at the moment, I should probably take his name down. It's been a hot minute since he was here in the booth with us. Have a look at this. 3x3 at the moment. Mitch Curry caught up in behind Ryan Palmer. This is going to go really badly. You can almost feel it coming. Palmer at the front. Have a look at Scott Barthine. Right in the middle of this. And I'll be honest, there's a touch there. Palmer into the wall. And just like that, it all comes undone. Jackson Starrett gets pushed sideways. In the end, actually pretty clean.
Hey, Jared, I didn't cause that one.
Jackson Starrett knows we're hearing him. And, Ryan Palmer probably the guilty party there, I would think. Although we'll have to see if we can get a better look at it. Well, back under safety car again here, folks. Lap 61. We almost made it to the halfway point without another safety car, but not to be. Not to be. The RSANZ Chat Show replay. Keep your eye on Ryan Palmer on that high side. Was there a bit of a touch from Mitch Curry here, or was it Darren Lofton moving across that caused this one. Bit of a nudge from Curry on the way into the turn. Lofton slides up. It was bit of contact from Curry. And just the three of them getting turned around. Actually, surprisingly, big contact. Huge hit there. And yeah, look, that's going to do it for Darren Lofton. He'll be back to the pits for some more repair work. As most of the front end of the field come in, Luke Patton will stay out on track, and he will graduate to the head of the group for at least a little while. And right there with him, Brian East, who is a lap down at the moment. He'll be hoping for a wave around here to keep with that. Alistair McLeod, incidentally, up 18 spots right now into second. That's definitely something. And we are joined in the booth now, if I've got him there, Mr. Boone Blake. Are you with us?
At long last, Jared, I am with you. This is very exciting. I'm so sorry about the wait, both to you and to our viewers. I've been dealing with a sick cat for the last hour. The situation seems to be under control now, fortunately.
Well, mate,
at least to stop throwing up on the floor. So
that's a bonus. We'll understand if you do need to jump on back out. So yeah, no stress at all, mate. It's been an opening half to forget for some of these drivers, but look, it's not been the most serious of race events from a lot of them either. We've got the race radio turned on tonight, and there's certainly been plenty of banter. But the Gen 3 Supercars proving pretty interesting around an oval so far. The side draft on these things is absolutely massive. And I think it's playing a pretty big part, but I'm glad to have your expertise in the booth, because I'm just taking my best guess here at the moment, honestly.
yeah, these are, to be honest with you, Jared, I'm going to be taking my best guess as well, because I've driven all kinds of stock cars around this track. I think I've driven pretty much everything that categorizes as a NASCAR here, but I've never even touched a Gen 3 Supercar around this track. I mean, this is a completely new ballgame for me too.
And look, to be fair, why would anyone try and put a Gen 3 Supercar around an oval track? They're really not built for it at all. Yeah, it's good fun. You get good pace out of them, or at least it seems that way. But yeah, it's not their forte, and they do get pretty loose pretty quickly, it seems.
How have the tires been in this run would be my first question. Have they been holding on all right?
Look, it's hard to say. I don't know how many of these incidents have been a result of tyre wear or just contact in the bump draft. We're up to, actually, I don't know if anyone in the chat has been keeping count. I think we're up to safety car number 6. I think at this point, which honestly is pretty good. I was expecting
Dean, you need to pass me.
Yeah, that's not that bad.
in the scheme of things. Yeah, it's actually pretty reasonable. So we're hanging in there as the iRacing ANZ chat show joins us in the chat. G'day, Scott. Hope you're doing well, mate. It's been a very interesting night so far. Luke Patton currently leads, but it's look, it's pretty variable at the moment. We'll bring on in. We've got a couple of drivers hanging around in the interview waiting room at the moment, so we may as well take advantage of that. We'll start with Thomas Cool, who joins us now. G'day, Thomas.
Oh, hey lads, how are we going?
Mate, we're doing all right. Now, I have to check. I have to validate this. I have to verify. It's part of our job as journalists to report the truth as best we can. Is it actually your birthday?
It might definitely, yes, be, maybe not, potentially.
Yeah, my bad. I wasn't supposed to do that. I did -1, but apparently I plussed it.
Brian Palmer just adding on an extra safety car lap there. So that's good for us to have a chat with you. Mate, well, happy birthday to you. We'll roll with it anyway. I am scarred by far too many Koala Cartel drivers having birthdays every week, it seems. So I will. I'll just roll with it for the season.
I think the fan base just loves us so much, mate, that they just can't resist celebrating with us, you know.
And look, that seems reasonable. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't
Meant to
really.
go there.
Can't really argue with that. Where is the rest of the Koala Cartel team tonight? What's going on? Where's the group that we were expecting to see out there hustling the ADHD drivers?
Well, I'm meant to be driving in a different league, but this seemed like a better scenario tonight, and I was a bit over the other one. So one of the other lads is driving the other league, and the rest are just kind of in a nice way, just being cats tonight. So they're in the other Discord watching on, but they didn't want to get out there tonight, unfortunately. But Mr. Velder's out there with me, so big shout out to him.
Yeah, we'll have a chat to him in just a moment. We'll drag him on in, and we've certainly heard plenty of words from him via the race radio tonight. So I don't know how many more we can take here on the broadcast, but we'll see how we handle that in a moment.
If you think you hear a lot in a broadcast, you should try being in Discord with him, mate.
You are not selling it to me that I should bring him into the booth. I'll be honest. You're turning me off the earlier.
Yeah, I thought I'd take the VR half off and just get in here just to give you a bit of a sense of relief.
Yeah, big shout out to you, Thomas.
See, yeah, he's giving me a shout out in the voice chat as well. He must be watching on, so.
Yeah, and that does seem to be the case. A couple of drivers who are watching the broadcast while racing. You in that boat as well, or are you actually paying attention to the driving a little bit more?
Well, I'm in VR, so.
Excuses.
Unfortunately, it might be a bit hard to kind of, throw it both on, but I'll give it a red hot go if I can get on there. But for now, it's just looking to my left and right and trying not to get a 45th incident, because I've been involved in every single accident tonight, I feel like. So.
Well, mate, they say that consistency is the hallmark of every great racing driver, so stay consistent, get out there, get involved in some more, and we'll let you get back to it, mate. I'll drop you on out.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for all the hard work.
Good fun. Thomas Cool joins us from somewhere in the mid-pack, and just to make his life difficult, while he's in amongst all of it, here is Hayden Veld. And Hayden, mate, it's getting a little bit dicey out there at times, and you seem to be in amongst it a fair bit.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I've actually not really been part of much of the biff, apart from when, I had me hand on the throttle and wasn't really looking at the screen. But I've actually had a pretty quiet night. I've been pretty lucky, unlike the birthday boy, Mr. Thomas Cooley. Big shout out to him, and the other birthday boy, Cruz McBee, who's sadly not racing tonight. But yeah, it seems that Tomas has been involved in just about every single crash he can be in. But no, we've been pretty good here.
Well, mate, you're coping all right, considering. You're still with a shot, right? You're just outside the top 10 at the moment. All right, we're just watching you tucked in behind Scott Bartine there. You'll be big nudge from Ryan Palmer as well as they try and get that sorted out. You'll be the third driver I've said this to, but if you get the chance to give Ryan a little bit of a nudge from me, I'd appreciate that. Just an extra hard bump draft somewhere.
Again, no, not again.
Not again, come on.
Well, this is all going very slowly. Somehow sneaks through the Days of Thunder move while on
I can give him a little nudge here if you want. I'll just range on up to him, give him a little
Whole field?
Hang on. Yep, there we go.
It's the big one, fellas.
There's the nudge.
It's a real shame to see Thomas once again involved in the biff. Seems to be an absolute glue to it. Yeah, shame for the birthday man.
Well, mate, you can't get everything just because it's your birthday.
I am struggling to turn left, gentlemen, so bear with me.
We're going to leave you to. I'm going to drop you back out of here, and we're going to go back and take a look at that incident and see if perhaps Thomas Cool was actually the cause of that one, or if he was just caught in it.
He very well could have been. He has been the cause of a few so far, so I wouldn't put it past him.
No, I wouldn't either, mate. We'll go back and take a look at it. We'll leave you to keep rolling around there.
Car on the exit of the
and I'm sure we'll chat again at some point in the next, 60-ish laps, eh?
Oh, can't wait.
Easy done. Cheers, Hayden. Hayden Veld somehow avoiding the absolute chaos of that incident while on the radio with us. We'll see if we can get any kind of a view of what just happened there. That was very, very messy, and did seem to cover pretty much the whole field. Brian East finds himself back up into the lead, and a whole lot of drivers find themselves in the pits and needing to get some repairs done. We'll go back and we'll see if we can find Thomas Cool in amongst all of that.
It looked like that affected a good probably half a dozen drivers at least. Might have come away at least with damage or be dropped to the end of the line from slowing down there. Oh, it might be worse than that, yeah.
It's worse than that. It's absolutely worse than that. I don't even know where to start as I look through
I'm not sure where his bumper is.
Honestly, at this point, it could be anywhere on the track. Have a look at this. Mitch Curry got caught up in the middle of it. Just cars absolutely everywhere.
Oh.
Well,
yeah, the aerodynamics of these are pretty unique on a drafting track, and I think it can cause some big ones that the drivers aren't necessarily ready for. These cars slide in interesting ways.
I don't think that any car is designed to do particularly well in a situation like that. Although at least the proper NAS cars have the little vent flaps on the roof. I'm sure they've got that official title, but I'm going with vent flaps that help to straighten them out a bit.
I forget what they're called actually. We'll go with vent flaps. But you get the standard NASCARs, and they don't have much aero on them. They tend to once they start sliding a direction, they tend to just sort of keep going that direction. So you can kind of guess which way you have to go when you're sort of trying to navigate your way through a crash. It can be a lot harder with cars that have aero on them as drivers are trying to get back on the road, because this might just be my opinion as an uneducated oval driver, but when cars with aero start spinning, they go in unpredictable directions.
Yeah, look, it's an odd thing, because supercars for
we're on lap 69.
Isaac Edwards calling out the important information from race control, as usual. The aero on these is not known to be particularly useful, but you don't often drive them backwards at 300k an hour either, which is when you start to see some pretty interesting stuff happen. And I think that might be a pretty significant part of what we're seeing tonight.
I'm just fascinated by the side drafts that these cars run with. It adds a completely different dimension to the racing. Normally your most powerful draft is going to be inline, obviously nose to tail with 5 or 6 cars at once, but just the side draft here, it's so difficult to keep the car from wiggling around, and that it looks like, and Luke Patton, just everyone clearing out around him off of that little wiggle, and he finds himself all alone very, very quickly there. Lucky to get away from that.
Honestly, have a look at him in the middle of this. Just keeps the Days of Thunder approach, just keeps the foot in it, and just drives out the other side while the world ends behind him. That might be just about the luckiest moment, with the exception of Hayden Veld avoiding that big one while on the radio to us just a little earlier as well. It's a close thing, but I reckon that's probably just about the save of the day.
I think it has to be. That could have gone very wrong very quickly for him. Just, I think, a little bit of a racing incident there. Moving up off the yellow line at the same time as the car going through wide, and the middle on the inside of him moved down a tiny bit, and it's just kicked off a huge incident. But I really don't think either of those drivers was in the wrong at all from that clip that I just saw. So a very, very lucky escape for Patton.
I mean, I'll take luck over skill any day. You know me. I don't discriminate at all. If you're good enough to avoid that sort of stuff intentionally, great. But luck is such a big part of surviving wrecks on these ovals, isn't it?
Oh yeah. As someone with neither luck nor skill, I'd take luck over skill.
Luck seems to come around more often than skill for me as well. So I absolutely feel that. The safety truck due to come in at the end of this lap, and a few drivers just getting settled in, ready to restart here. I was wondering whether we're actually going to make it to the number of laps by the end of session here tonight. But we're actually seeing some decent green flag runs for the last little while at least. It'll be a close run thing as to whether we still have that carry on as we get a bit of just feedback on the safety car coming through there. But we are going green flag racing once again. Brian East gets the jump, although a black flag there, he might have already been carrying that. We get back underway, and I don't know, hold on to your hats here, folks, because we are straight back into it. Ryan Palmer finds himself just ahead of Hayden Veld. I'm hoping that Veld might give him another nudge for us just for the fun of it. And yeah, Jacinta, I'll absolutely pull Ryan in here at some point for a bit of a chat. Because why not? This is one of those events where the usual rules go out the window a little bit.
Or black flags up and down the field on that restart. Is it possible that all of those come from passing before the green flag, or do we think some of these might be drive-through penalties? Looks like we've got one car probably preparing to approach the pit lane. That's McLeod. We've got Curry in the pit lane. East in the lead notably has stayed out. He is not serving his black flag this lap. He's gonna need to come in and get that at some point.
Yeah, look, your guess is as good as mine. I'd say that probably they're certainly not race control issued flags as we go on board with Veld's gap cam as he starts to give Palmer a bit of a nudge along here. They get noticed. But have a look at this side draft. Like, where did Jackson Starrett just come from? Oh, that's
insane.
The run of speed that Starrett had to close in there was absolutely massive. A lot of that, though, probably caused by the side draft we were talking about just a moment ago. Once these cars get alongside each other, they push so much air off to the side and over the rear wing of the car next to them. And you saw how much pace came out of Brian East there. Just from Veld and Palmer starting to pass on the high side. But Starrett, I reckon, is closing at about 20 or 30k an hour, which is no mean feat at 300.
I think that's better than any sort of acceleration you could get out of a NASCAR Cup car. And what this really reminds me of, how you see these packs of just, sometimes it's just two drivers that can really get an incredible result going, like what we've got these two guys on the inside doing, just pushing nose to tail tandem with two drivers. It reminds me of, I think it was the 2011 NASCAR Cup race at Talladega, when they introduced the new restrictor plate package that led to tandem drafting for one race. The most efficient thing to do was to just draft around in a pair of two cars and push each other all day and use the dirty air to take the runoff of other cars as you came up from on the side. And that is what this race reminds me of.
Well, we saw a really nice run of three wide earlier. It doesn't look so good right at the moment as Isaac Edwards gets a bit of a nudge from both sides. We're almost four wide in the middle of this pack. Josh Harris got a little bit of overlap. This is going to end badly. The only question is for who. I'm keeping an eye on Isaac Edwards because he's in the hot seat. And there goes Darren Loxton and Dean Powell. They've managed to pull it up. How? I have no idea. That was a very, very close thing, and they've really just lost a bit of pace, and so they'll drop off the lead group. But somehow everyone survives that, and we carry on.
Yeah, that's going to be a shame for them as they start to see this lead group recede away from them. Hopefully they can stick in the draft with how powerful it is and try to get a run back up to them. But it doesn't look like it's going to be too bad for them. If I was either of them, I would just be happy to survive that. That was the kind of incident you do not get away with in a stock car.
The joys of aero when it does manage to straighten you out. Not so good when you get flipped completely around, but at least it can help you hold on to some of those incidents. Ryan Palmer on that high side is all over the place with the bump from behind. His teammate Josh Harris just trying to hold on to the back now. Hayden Veld just ahead, so we're trying to get a bit of a run up the top side, and Isaac Edwards on that outside getting a nice little push along from Veld. He moves across in front of Starrett and will start to tow him along. Now watch the speed differential change as well as the side draft starts to affect Veld out there on his own. He'll start to drop back just a little bit, but this front group, it's really almost the entire top 10 in this pack at the moment. I reckon if I'm running down with, say, Thomas Cool, Brian East at about 11th or 12th, I'm watching for the smoke cloud ahead to appear, because that is the risk factor for this group at the moment. There's a lot of movement in this pack, a lot of side to side as they negotiate the turns, and there's, look, I guess compared to your regular oval racing, this is pretty untidy, as we see a bit of a nudge there for Dean Power at the back end of this group. Ryan Palmer just dropping back as well. You really got to be disciplined about it, don't you?
As we go 3 wide now, yeah, you've got to be super disciplined with how much these cars move around. This looks like just so much work inside the cockpit for these drivers. I'd love to get a camera at some point inside one of the cars for a lap, just so we can see all the wheel inputs that these guys are having to make. It's been a challenge for them, and with what, like 48 laps to go, and they're running 3, sometimes 4 wide for most of the lap. I think the smoke cloud is inevitable. The safest place to be here is probably where Cool or East or McLeod is right now, hanging around just outside the top 10 with a little bit of clearance space to the lead group. I would just drop back and wait for something to happen, Jared.
So we sit on board with Josh Harris. He's got the camera set up for us, and look at the concentration on his face. I've done a few fun oval races with these guys before. It is a terrifying place to be, especially when you've got a lapped car in front of you that's having connection issues like that. Not ideal at all, and really does run the risk. I'm just trying to figure out, is that it's James Grant who's gone sideways? He's gotten sideways in that. He's caught up the top end. That's Ian Ward bouncing side to side. It takes Isaac Edwards as well. Jackson Starrett caught in that. Off to the inside goes Haydenfeld. Dean Powell falls down towards the bottom of the track. Up the top, Darren Lofton is caught in it as well. And oh, look at the two. Was that Brian East flying through? I don't think he's quite gotten there yet, but here he comes now. He'll keep the foot buried in it. I think it was it East.
I don't know if you can even call them big ones if every crash is like this. I think you just have to call them ones. But
yeah, I think we're kind of at that point, aren't we? It's just another one. Brian East will round the corner and see the mess ahead, but out in front, some of those guys seem to survive it.
It seemed like a few of the cars out front did get away with it. Harris got a massive run and was completely unaffected by this incident, which I'm sure felt good for him watching that unfold in his rearview mirror. He's going to have his teammate, at least from what oh no, he's going in.
No, these guys are just taking the bus stop. You've missed that so far, Nightburn. The bus stop is just a bit of a favourite corner for these guys in the supercars, and so they do enjoy taking it under safety car, it seems. It's been a feature of just about every safety car so far.
Okay, yeah. There you go. Fair enough, I guess. I feel like that would hurt your tires long term if you were worried about them. Maybe these guys just aren't worried about the tires, though. That could be a clue.
Look, honestly, Gen 3 supercar tires absolutely not made for this sort of punishment. I don't think there's any point trying to take care of them because they're thrashed within 2 laps. So, yeah. Look, I don't think it's even worth worrying for this particular event. These tyres are just way too soft to be under this sort of stress at this speed for this long. It's nutty. I'm trying to find who it was that got caught up in that big incident just a moment ago, and I'm trying to find the start point of it and where it all kind of went wrong there. Where do I even start?
The white Ford Mustang in the front. I'm not sure who it was. I'm not sure if it was even a car on the lead lap, to be honest with you. But he swerved down. It looked like maybe he caught a bump draft that almost sent him out of control, but not quite. He swerved down below the yellow line on the backstretch, came back up the track into the position on the track he had been before in the front of the group, but it looked like he overcorrected a little bit coming up the track, hit the car on the middle line, sent him spinning, and since that was on the front row, that just looked like it kicked it off. I would have to watch the replay back to know for sure, but it looked like it was caused by a car in front. White Ford Mustang taking a bump draft.
James Grant, yeah. Let's have a look. I suspect, and I'm just trying to find the best starting point for this, but I think Jackson Starrett was probably one of the early casualties. We'll just wait while Ryan Palmer takes the bus stop. again, and we'll keep an eye on Jackson Starrett here and see if we can pick this up. So we're watching the Rusty's car on the low side. Now, James Grant rather, watch him come through here. He's got so much extra pace from the draft of these cars and finds himself caught up very, very quickly. And it wasn't very long after this that he finds himself up into the middle, and it just kind of all went wrong very, very quickly from there. I'm not quite sure who he clipped first, but a little bit of movement. He's thinking about going up to sit in behind Veld, and then there's a change there. Isaac Edwards moves across to the centre, and what was it, just coming out of this first turn where it kind of all got a little bit sideways.
I think it might have been off of turn 2 coming down the backstretch that has started to really get bad. They all still seem pretty orderly at this point in time.
Yeah, I'm just watching that bit of movement here, and this is where Grant looks to the low side, comes back up, and there's a little bit of a moment with Beld and Palmer on the high side as they get into that bump drafting.
I'm waiting for Grant here to get to the lead of this inside line, because I know that's where he was when this all kicked off. Here it comes, I think. He's going to get a big run at some point if he can get this side draft on the inside pack.
And with apologies, folks, a lot of these incidents aren't actually being picked up by our telemetry as incidents because the cars are staying at such a high speed. I will make some adjustments to that shortly, but you see there's a lot of movement starting through this corner, and it just kind of throws everyone off their rhythm a little bit. Is there a touch from Harris behind here? Maybe a little bit of an overlap there. That disconnection, I think, is actually probably the cause of the issue. He's actually blinked for a moment, a little bit of a connection issue for him. And I think what it's done is when he's phased back into existence, the iRacing service had to play a bit of catch up with where he is, and that's maybe caused a bit of a ghosted contact for him. Is perhaps my guess, but yeah, look,
I think
honestly, I can't come up with a better explanation than that.
I think sometimes you just crash. Sometimes you just get in a massive accident for no reason. And I suppose the safe thing there for Grant to do would have probably been to pull off the track, come into the pits until he stops blinking. That's certainly what we'd advocate, but sometimes it's difficult to even know that you personally are blinking, especially if you're on the front row and there's not very many cars in front of you.
You know what? Honestly, I'd be with you in just about any other race, Boom. But tonight, I'm here for the chaos. So bring on more blinking from more of the drivers, I reckon.
Yes, unplug your internet. Pull your cable out halfway.
Run it off your phone hotspot. Why not? Oh, jeez, it's interesting. We are getting a fair bit of it. So big moment for Jackson Starrett as he gets all out of shape and finds himself bouncing off the top wall. He's held it together reasonably well and stays with the lead group, but only just as Ryan Palmer comes into the pits and pulls back out of this lead group. Thomas Cool, Josh Harris, Mitch Curry, Rafael Custodio up the front at the moment. We've got just over 40 laps left to run here. How many of them will be green? Let's see how we go. Yeah, I don't quite want to put any predictions on it at this stage, and I really wish I'd had a counter here somewhere.
Sorry. Oh no!
What has Hayden Veld done? What has Veld done?
That was a murder.
Oh, Jared, could I just say, though, after everything that he's had to deal with in this race and after all the trouble that he's attracted, cool as
I've been doing that all night without any problems. I thought it was chill.
Yeah, I have no idea how Thomas Cool's found himself up the front again. Honestly,
What did you do, my guy?
I'm just waiting to hear who it is that copped that from
I'm pretty
Veld.
sure I had overlap though, so I don't know.
There's no overlap lines on that car, brother.
My end, on my broadcast, but it seems like Veld is very excited about something on the radio.
Yeah, look, mate, I'm unfortunately you can't hear it. It was he was apologising profusely to somebody for something, and that's not exactly in character for Feld to apologise that genuinely unless he's done something really dumb. So he's definitely done something somewhere there. I don't quite know who got impacted, but and there's Dean Powell off sideways. Gets straightened up though by Custodio.
Mostly straight.
Yeah, look, it'll do. It'll do. Up front, the front group's still running, although Jackson Starrett, a little bit of contact side to side there with Thomas Cool, and Thomas Cool, I'm probably a little concerned right now because there's a rear quarter contact there as they just nudge each other back into the two separate lines. Mitch Curry out in front will be feeling probably a little uncomfortable, I would say. I am just having a look to...
I think there's too much time left to be battling like this. Normally, I wouldn't have any problem with taking it 2 wide at Daytona with 40 laps to go. I wouldn't have any problem with taking it 3 wide with 40 laps to go at Daytona. But with how much these cars move around in the side draft, and with how wiggly I've seen them be just in my short time in the commentary box, and what I'm sure you've seen today, this just seems incredibly unsafe for everyone involved in this lead group. And if I'm in that little group of 3 that's hanging out a little bit off the back of them, looks like it's Speck, East, and McLeod, I am loving where I'm at right now. I just want to watch these leaders wreck and pick up the pieces.
I mean, to be fair, that's not a bad strategy to take into any oval race, is it? Just survive. And you'll usually end up somewhere up towards the top of the field at the end. These guys don't know any other way to drive these cars, though. That's the thing. It's it's all out or nothing for these guys, especially once we see again Starrett just giving a bit of a nudge to Darren Lofton, who's trying to form that third line up on the high side. Thomas Cool getting a nice little push along from Josh Harris at the moment as Ian Ward, they blow the yellow line and well and truly out of the way. He's back at 17th, and it is messy, but they're starting to figure it out here. It's pretty impressive for drivers that don't really run ovals.
They are starting to form up pretty well here. I'm liking this pack racing. This reminds me of a GT3 oval race I did on this track one time, just with more parity between the cars, because when we did that, it was just the Mercedes driving away from everyone.
The story of GT3s, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm interested in what Lofton is doing here. He's trying to make this outside line work. The cars on the inside of him both have pushers, but the side draft is so powerful that Lofton is hanging in there on the outside. He's trying to go for the lead.
We've seen this a few times tonight where drivers are getting up to that high line, and if they get the distance from the wall and from the next row of cars just right, it almost just sucks them along and adds the pace. I'm not quite sure if the aerodynamics are in play here, but it's working. And you can see, like, Lofton has no business running as fast as he does right now without someone pushing him. It is purely the aerodynamics that are playing into his hands here to keep him up front and indeed gaining. He's going to get a bit of a push along here by the look of things from, I think that's Luke Patton just lining up behind him. That's almost going to hurt him, honestly. It's a really odd circumstance that we're seeing here. It's not how this would usually unfold with just about any other car on an oval, but Starrett gets very, very loose with a bit of a nudge there, goes into Thomas Cool. They survive it again.
This is going to give Curry the advantage, though.
Well, for the moment. For the moment.
And the outside line has failed to capitalize on that. They were disorganized. Lofton was not at the back of Curry, and Curry was not near the wall. He didn't have that distance that you were just talking about. So when the bottom 2 lines had a little bit of a moment, the outside was not able to capitalize. But now here comes Lofton around the outside.
Oh, there's big contact. There's Thomas Cool again.
That was inevitable, Jared.
Why me again? Come on!
Thomas Cool asking why him again. Look, honestly, I think he's gotten away with that relatively easily, considering how exposed he was in all of that.
Oh yeah.
Although I suspect that his car's not real happy with him all the same. It's certainly not behaving at the moment. So he's definitely picked up some damage there somewhere. Matty Morgan, you were prophetic in predicting a safety car, which would have been right as you saw that happen. I think was when you sent that message. That was no, Scott. I do not want to see Gen 3 ovals as part of the broadcast battle. Thank you very much. For those watching at home who haven't heard about it, the iRace ANZ chat show, he roared straight through the safety truck. The iRace ANZ chat show putting on a special event, which those of us here who mostly do broadcasting very much appreciate. The broadcaster battle is happening at some point in the near future, where broadcasters, commentators from a whole bunch of different broadcast organisations, let's call ourselves, are going to be getting out on track and having some fun in... I can only guess at what Scott has in store for us, what Scott and Trent have dreamt up for that broadcaster battle. My predictions so far have been things like MX-5s on dirt tracks and, I don't know, maybe mini stocks around the Nürburgring or something like that. But whatever it is that he comes up with, I'm certain it's not going to be your average race night. And I'm very much looking forward to it, no matter how uncompetitive I expect
you'll
to
get
be.
one, bro. We just got to sort out where everyone is and stuff like that. We'll just catch back up to the pace car and then we'll do it.
On there being oval races. If there are only road races, I will do it, but I'm not going to be very good.
I've just got to pit and go for a piss too, so it'll be after that.
Ryan Palmer just advising the field that he needs to pit and then go relieve himself. Maybe forgetting that the race radio is on. But anyway,
It seems like a lot of drivers are going to come in here in this situation, perhaps attempting to make this their final stop of the race. I do want to point out, though, before the pit cycle changes everything, the group of 3 of East, I think it was Starrett, it was not Starrett, it was East, McLeod, and someone else. The group of 3 that was hanging out behind the main wreck, they have all gained a number of positions here. Yeah, just like we've seen, well, like I've seen the past 2 or 3 wrecks, and like I'm sure you've just seen all day, Jared, just getting a little bit loose there on the bump draft. The cars move around so much in the side draft. It looked like it was just that blue, black, and orange car up on the top line had a little bit of a wiggle. I don't think it was a bump draft, it's just a tiny wiggle, and that's enough to set it off in these cars. Once you have one car, they're spinning around in front of the pack, and that's it. It's the big one again.
I don't know what Thomas Cool's complaining about, though. As far as his involvement in crashes goes tonight, that's been just about the best one he's been in so far. He just got a little nudge off the inside of the track and he got to keep driving.
Yeah, that was not too bad, I think.
Nothing in that.
He's going to be in a decent restart position. I'm sure these guys have unlimited fast repairs, right? Otherwise, there'd be no cars on the track.
Absolutely, mate. The fast repairs are absolutely unlimited here this evening, and there's no way that this was going to get anywhere near 125 laps otherwise. It's one of those things, right? You could potentially encourage some much safer driving by only giving them 2 or 3 fast repairs for this Daytona 500, but I think you're right. We'd end up with maybe 1 car left on track by about lap 43, and then it'd be 80 laps of solo driving to bring home the win. As it stands, though, pretty happy with how the race is turning out tonight as a bit of a fun event. It's meant that everyone can stay in it, and the only driver who is let's say out at the moment is Chris Nankerville, who actually didn't manage to start the race this evening. So it's not through any reason other than that we've lost a driver. But everyone else is still in there. Jared Burns, Cooper Field, Jet Saragi, they're all a fair way back in the field, but they're still going, and everyone seems to still be having a fair bit of fun with it, with the possible exception of Thomas Cool.
I might be misreading the scoring tower here, but it looks like we've still got about 16 cars on the lead lap there.
Can I get a black clear, please?
Which is a very, very impressive figure for any oval race this late into the race. There's something I wanted to circle back on, though, Jared.
People wrecking in front of me.
Broadcast, you mentioned that you weren't sure how many laps we were going to be able to get in in the time limit for this event.
I'm pretty sure that's what iRacing pedal
running if they were going to hit the full 125 lap count.
Yeah, the only thing we're clearing at the moment is pit entry, so yeah, unfortunately, so that I believe there's about 3 other people that have one wheel.
Just bear with us while we get some radio comms coming through
sweet.
here.
So we can go in pit entry 200 mile an hour. No, it's pitting under caution is what we're clearing. Joking, probably. Hey man, I couldn't clear my own and I had to serve it. That's how I ended up so far down the back.
The discussion.
Way to cover up just being bad.
The discussion about black flags and rules for clearing them going on in amongst the drivers under this safety truck period.
Hey, I'm on 49 incident points.
Thomas Cool on 49 incident points so far. The poor bloke has just been in amongst everything. We are looking fine, honestly. We've got this set for a 3-hour session, and we're just shy of 2 hours of racing at this point.
We'll be good. We'll be all right.
Yeah, we've got 30 laps to go. Now you could knock that over in probably about 20 minutes if we can stay green to the end. That's probably a bit ambitious, honestly, but let's see how we go. Let's see how we go.
I had a lot of people not pass me, and I got a black.
It's East now, leading laps away from this restart for the first time, and Starrett's got a black flag behind him. Patton's got a black flag. Lofton's got a black flag, and Veld's got a black flag. Those are 4 pretty significant contenders right there. All running into trouble in the pit lane. They're going to have to come in. This is going to really compromise their run, and it's going to shake up the order at the top here. It's going to bring Poole. It's going to bring Harris. It's going to potentially bring Williamson into the mix here.
There you go, luck of the draw.
If I was one of these drivers, Jared, I would just be looking to keep this as steady as possible and pick off the laps, get down to about 10 to go, and then start making my moves. But I don't want to bring out any more cautions before then. I want to get through the laps and just maximize my chances of being there in the end, because it's starting to get towards the point in the race where you don't have enough time to make it up if something happens to you. Like, we've seen Thomas Cool fight through all day. He's still in the mix here in 7th place, but if something else happens to him right now, I don't know if he'd have the time to make it all the way back through the field before the checkered flag. So you've got to start to be really careful here, I would think.
I also wonder, honestly, when Thomas Cool gets taken out again, whether he's got the mental fortitude to actually carry on for another 30 laps. There's a certain point where you just can't take getting belted around the track too much more, and given that he's into the high 40s of incident points at this stage, I reckon he has certainly had his fair share. Josh Harris does a little disappearing act in the middle of the group there for just a moment, but has reappeared and seems to be keeping it stable. Brian East down in front, looking reasonably comfortable. Jackson Starrett getting a nice little nudge along from Dean Power. The side draft playing a big part in keeping this group together, but also take a look at the background. It's bringing the rest of these drivers into it as well. They're a lap down, but Ian Ward, Mitch Curry are just off the back of this group as well. And I can only put it down to the side draft on these cars that as they line up into these 2 lines, they're actually going much slower. They seem to be faster as a group when they actually split it into the 3 racing lines. But we haven't really had much success in keeping that going for more than a few laps. So I don't quite know what the ideal strategy here is, Boone, but it's not a safe one, whatever it is, right?
You're gonna want to go 3 wide at some point. It's so much faster, and you've seen there's always going to be someone who's brave enough to try to take it 3 wide. Right now it's Lofton. He's been trying to make that outside work all the time, and we've got Powell up to the front charging through the middle. So this is the balance these drivers have to strike, because you can make a move like this if you're doing what Powell's doing, charging on the inside, or if you're doing what Lofton's doing, trying to hold that outside line together. You can make these alternative racing lines work, but it is just so wobbly and so risky. You can tell the effort that these drivers are putting in right now just to keep these cars straight from what we've seen all day. And it's going to be a massive ask for them to keep this up for 27 more laps, and it's not even going to be they're not even going to keep it up for 1 more corner. Okay. Chris, the commentator there, Jared.
That's about what we expect here tonight. I think Brian East is going to drop a long way down, but at least he has Dean Powell had rejoined, and then I don't know, just a little bit too overheated in the tyres, maybe couldn't maintain the grip. The racing continues up front. Josh Harris, Alistair McLeod, Darren Lofton still going. Mitch Curry in 15th is up there with them. Jackson Starrett in 4th at the back of that group. So it hasn't gone completely wrong. Rafael Custodio's just picked up a meatball somewhere there as well. I don't know if he's hit the wall just a little too hard. But
oh, that Mustang is not looking good.
That front left is not meant to spark like that.
I suspect he's had contact with either East or Powell, one of the cars who fell off the lead pack in that accident. And for both East and Powell, who are sitting right there on that front row, helping to lead this race as we start to tick down towards the closing sector, that's got to just be heartbreaking for them. They're going to go a significant ways down without a caution either. And Custodio's damage for that clip starts up. Oh, that is... I do not envy Rafael trying to drive that Mustang around right now.
Yeah, it's a big ask.
You've seen him a few times.
To get it back to the pits in that sort of shape. Look, I'd rather have the inside left. I'd rather have that left side damage than the right side. You might actually stand some chance of making it around the left-hand corner with your right side intact. So I guess there's some kind of optimism in that, but there's not much, honestly. We're still looking pretty clean at the moment. We'll jump on board the Thomas Cool gap cam for a little while here as he just charges up the right-hand side in behind Harrison. Look at the side draft. That difference in speed is just enormous when it happens.
And then you can see it go away when they start to drift high.
Yeah, it's such an unusual thing to watch. We'll sit with Veld back here because he's actually probably in the best spot to take advantage of this, or perhaps Lofton just ahead. But you can see, oh, there goes Starrett to the inside. There goes Thomas Cool to the top wall.
Again!
Starrett's going to lose a number of positions, but he should stay in contention here. And it's really starting to thin out at the front there. McLeod and Thomas Cool has a meatball flag, and Starrett has a black flag. That is catastrophic for both of those drivers, and Cool especially. What has happened here to Thomas? Another incident. He's missing his front bumper.
I think that's just the damage from that contact there. I'm not
showed him with the
certain
meatball flag for a second, and he's slowing. He is slowing quite a bit now.
Oh, there's certainly sparks. That front right is not in good shape at all. So he'll have to limp that back. Out in front, McLeod and Josh Harris opening up a little bit of a gap to Lofton behind. There's not much in it, although contact there is not going to help McLeod as he goes high off the rebound. Mitch Curry gets taken out as well. Another bit of contact from one of the Sideways Esport drivers coming through. I think that might have been Luke Speck. And the rest of the field will thankfully not have to clear that. Jackson Starrett finds himself up in the third, although he does have a black flag to carry. Darren Lofton, I don't know how, but he's just been hanging around at the front, surviving all night tonight, and he finds himself in the ideal position. The black flag's cleared there, I think, and that will probably be because those black flags were issued as a result of sliding across the pit lane, the pit entry. That's pretty much the only reason for flags being cleared here tonight by race control. And when I say race control, I do just mean Ryan Palmer as he's driving. But yeah, we'll go back and we'll have a look and see just where the damage happened for Thomas Cool. It's probably a lot of front end damage on it. We have avoided for now a safety car. So a bit of a nudge there from the SES driver. Big hit into the wall. That's what's damaged that front right. And yeah, just a very, very heavy impact.
And a passenger again, Thomas Cool, he's got to be so frustrated with how this race has gone for him. He's had the pace, he's had the speed to be there. But like I was saying a few laps ago, if something else happens to him at this stage, it's going to be an uphill battle for him to fight his way back to the front. We see him sitting his way down in 14th right now. And with no cautions coming out, he is many, many seconds off the lead group. He is going to need a yellow here, and then he's going to need to work his way through the field. So for Thomas, a yellow can't come soon enough now. As long as it's not him, but with the way the luck's been going.
Yeah, I wouldn't be feeling super confident if I was in his shoes at the moment, honestly. This is the second pack out on track. They're 5 seconds back from the lead three. It's look, it's going to take a huge effort here from Ryan Palmer, from Isaac Edwards, John Williamson running that inside line. Has a bit of clear air and just off the back of Rory Collins. These guys have got a huge amount of work to do if they do want to catch the front four. Harris, Lofton, Starrett and Veld. I'll be honest, those four names tonight don't necessarily fill me with confidence that we're going to have a clean final 20 laps for the front group either. But these guys, if they don't start working together and getting a bit more of that bump drafting happening, Edwards really needs to start pushing Palmer along on the high side. Williamson and Collins look probably not frequent enough drivers in this league to have the sort of confidence you need to be bump drafting anybody. You come up the front though, have a look at the organisation here. The four cars on lead lap, plus I believe it's Luke Patton that's in amongst it as well. It's not, sorry. It's Luke Speck. I'm lost. I don't actually know who the SES driver is there. That's Darren Lofton. Sorry, that's Ian Ward in amongst it as well. And that's...
We've lost a couple of them. I think one of them was Lofton. I think it was Lofton and Palmer.
Yeah, Darren Lofton is off the inside of the circuit and heavily down. Look at the pace as the cars come past on the banking. You don't quite get a sense of the speed until you see a car stopped and the others flying past them. That 300k an hour is just enormous, and it's not something you see in more than one or two tracks that these cars usually race on here in Australia. You don't see that kind of pace in many places at all. Josh Harris begging Luke Speck for a push along here. He wants to get back onto the front two. He's running out of time very, very quickly. Starrett and Veld are in an ideal position. We are getting updates in the chat from the Veld strategy team that he can make it home on fuel if he manages to stay in the draft, which is going to be a huge effort. He last came into the pits on lap 91. 35 odd laps at full noise in one of these cars will absolutely drink fuel. I've got no idea what they're actually using at the moment per lap, but 35 laps, 4K's lap, I've got to think they're up around probably 6 or 7 litres a lap. I'll see if I can confirm any of that in the background quickly here.
Starrett? Sorry, Jared. Do you know when Starrett last pitted? How many laps to the green is he on Veld?
Jackson Starrett also 91, so the front four pitted on lap 91, which must have been a
safety car.
Safety car.
It was.
It had to have been.
I remember it. That's when a lot of the lead pack came in. Obviously, the lead pack was much larger then than it is now. But we had a good 6 or 7 cars from the front group come in there. And if you're Starrett and Veld here, I think you've got to be each other's best friend for the next 15 laps or so, is what I would say. But you can see Harris closing in on them a little bit. And the thing that concerns
Rory, since Isaac sucks at pushing, can you push me properly?
Is talking about the only way they can make it is by staying in the draft on fuel.
God damn it.
Could that be true for Starrett as well? Are we going to see him want to try to switch to the back here? I would be very curious to see these two being fuel limited. I think that Veld sitting...
I was trying to get Isaac to push us towards the cars in front.
So Boone, the radio chat absolutely drowning you out at the moment on this end. I'm just taking a look actually at some telemetry in the background on fuel. Actually, way less than I thought they'd be using. They are running a 72% fuel cap tonight, but at a 48-second lap, they're burning just a little bit over 3 litres per lap. Now, I'd have to do some maths on what that actually looks like in terms of laps to the tank. I am drawing a mental blank. I think it's 120 litres in a full tank here. Someone out there must be able to tell me what a 72% tank is in litres. I'm gonna turn to Scott Stevens or perhaps Simon Caplet if he's floating around, or indeed the Veld strategy tank. What's a full tank look like? Yeah, that's 72%. I can't.
Looks
find
like about 86.4 liters.
Yeah, so you're talking about 30 laps at 3 a lap, give or take. So we're going to be really tight on fuel for those who did pit on 91, which is the front four. Isaac Edwards last pitted on 84, so he's got to come in surely.
I don't know what the fuel save on these cars is like, but you're asking them to make up like 4 laps of fuel save in 30 laps.
It's a lot.
Without the help of the draft in Starrett's case, it is going to be a lot for him in that 95 machine. Honestly, it would be a lot for Veld. I would love to be in this secondary pack back here because you can see in the last lap they've already pulled almost a second on them. Those two guys in the front are fuel saving so hard, Jared.
They need to at this point. It's too close to the end to get away with even a splash and dash and expect to be amongst the front group. The only thing that they can rely on is if there is an incident in this secondary pack that wipes that group out, then maybe you'll get away with coming in and taking a little bit of fuel. But even then, I mean, Brian East and Dean Power still on the lead lap, and they're realistically only about 10 seconds or so off the lead, which ordinarily is a really, really long way. But when you're talking a 48-second lap at these sort of speeds and a pit time of, even for a splash and dash, probably about 30-35 seconds end to end of the pit lane, you can make that up pretty quickly.
And do you know what lap Ryan Palmer pitted on? Was it also 91?
Ryan Palmer also 91. Starrett, Veld, Palmer, and Harris all on lap 91.
Ryan is in a bit of a situation here trying to break the ground for this pack here. He's got to, I think he's got to start to cycle back because he's been out in front of this pack for an alarmingly long time and he's got the cars to work with. If I was him, maybe he obviously knows more about the fuel situation for his car than I do. If he feels good running at the front of this pack, then maybe he's got the fuel to make it to the end. But I've got alarm bells going off in my head for Ryan Palmer and for Starrett at the front as well. I think we could be seeing a bit of a Dale Jr. Coke 600 in 2011 situation with both of these guys running out of fuel on the last lap.
I'm half tempted, given that I know they'll be talking strategy right now and communicating a fair bit with the bump draft going on. Josh Harris and Ryan Palmer, the two ADHD teammates, I'm always tempted to just pull one of them into the booth. Sure, we'd learned a little bit about strategy, but just to make their life difficult at this point, honestly. And I know a lot of the regular viewers will be keen on that. Look at this, they've caught the front two. So huge amounts of fuel save going on. Yeah, they're just going all out at this point. This is going to be really interesting. Will Starrett and Veld respond, or are they going to stick to their strategy and really just watch the two ADHD cars drive away from them and hope they run out of fuel? This has turned into a very, very sizable lead pack. You'll notice what we're not seeing though is 2 or 3 rows. They're absolutely, and Isaac Edwards is in. So not surprised to see that. That's an approach to pit entry, yes. Not the fastest line. Yeah, I suppose it could be worse. Palmer, Harris, Starrett, Veld, and Collins all in this lead group, all pitting on lap 91, save Rory Collins, who was lap 90. Brian East, about 10-11 seconds off the back of this group, pitted on 91 as well. So did Dean Power, sitting in 7th. Everyone from Thomas Cool back, so 9th place onwards, down by a lap or more on the leaders. So effectively out of it at this point. 10 laps to run. Josh Harris still having a few little connection woes here and there, but staying with the group at the moment. Veld is absolutely in fuel save mode. He doesn't want to continue to try and pass here at all. But ordinarily you'd expect to see Veld not allow Harris back into the line. He's not really pushing up to the back end of Starrett at the moment.
Seems like neither Veld nor Starrett is really starting to push right now. You could see Starrett there getting overtaken on the outside almost by Harris, and he's fighting. They're door to door, but it seems like he's just a little more hesitant to get into.
I fixed that in my there you go.
Draft say that. I don't like that with 9 to go. That could ruin this whole lead pack. If these guys wreck, if something happens here, the next
but no, it's still down here actually. It's still like to the left a little bit more. Oh my god, you guys merged.
Just giving giving Starrett instructions on the apex being much
Adam's
lower on the
lined
racing
up.
line.
It is possible.
But I really do need to find a mute button for the race audio, because Veld is.
Hey guys, we really don't want to caution here. Okay,
Still talking it up here.
let's just wait until the final couple of laps. All right? Yeah, let's just start. Yeah.
Doing just a little bit of coaching on keeping it tidy here and keeping it together. It doesn't seem to be landing for Starrett and Palmer.
It's the complete opposite, isn't it?
And, Jackson Starrett puts a big boot into the side of Palmer's car, gets him very, very loose. Josh Harris will try and pick up the pieces. In the background, we've got, is that Rory Collins still in it? It is.
I think Harris is in the wall again there a little bit. He is losing pace on the front group. And after all that, we've got Starrett and Veld back out front here. I suppose we have our answer to the question of, are they going to save? Are they going to let the leaders pass them by? Or are they just going to watch the ADHD racing cars disappear in their mirror? No, they are not. They're going to fight for the win here, regardless of if they have the fuel for it. And I think that's the only way you can do it, Jared. It's better to fight for the win and run out of fuel on the last lap, I think, than it is to just sit in the back and save fuel all day and end up safe.
Yeah, that's just.
No,
we were talking about
that
this,
is
right?
Starrett and I think Harris across the infield, both sliding. Starrett. Oh. Rip safety truck.
Oh, and Thomas Cool again. Had nowhere to go.
And that is going to change this race completely. We are under safety car conditions.
Oh, I'm going to actually murder you guys.
119 of 125 laps completed. It's going to be...
Yeah, it's going to sound the broadcast, right?
Here.
Thomas Cool again.
Man, all that fuel saving, and for what?
I'm amazed that Thomas is even still in the race, much less than 8th place.
Can you push me?
That was worthy of a rage quit. If ever you were going to rage quit a race, Thomas Cool had every right to do so just then.
There would be a steering wheel shaped hole in my wall if I was in his situation right now.
Oh, wouldn't there be? That was... I feel for him. He's had one of the roughest nights of racing I think I've ever seen for any driver. From a fuel perspective, this is perhaps all that they needed for Palmer and Veld up front. Rory Collins has found himself a long way off the back. Josh Harris managed to stay in it more or less. Isaac Edwards, I've got no idea.
Yeah, it says I got 159 past.
What he's doing or where he's going, but apparently he's getting waved by there.
Yeah, look, having dramas here.
Brian East, what can he do from here? 5th place. He's going to be really, really nicely positioned. He's been sitting a fair way back. I wonder if he's saved enough fuel that he's going to be able to push harder than these guys over the remaining... Well, it's probably only going to be... Once we get the safety car clear, it's probably only going to be 2 laps at full pace here. That's not a lot of time.
Well, GG, I made it 10 meters away from my pit box and the engine blew.
He was... I think it was better for him when the safety car wasn't. No, because he was the first car in the next group down. This has still worked out for Brian. He's going to be in with a chance here at the end, but I think for anyone who had saved a little bit more fuel, they aren't going to want to see this safety car, just because it's going to guarantee that all the cars up towards the front, like a Veld and a Palmer, who pitted all the way back on lap 91, who have been just running hell for leather, burning as much fuel as they can up here. It's going to ensure that they can make it to the end. I don't know that for sure, but given how hard these drivers were running, I would have a hard time thinking they're not going to be able to make it to the end with this safety car. So it's going to sort of reset everything and give us almost the equivalent of a green-white checkered finish in NASCAR, where we've just got a late restart and 2 laps to determine the win, which is going to be really exciting, I think. But it's hard not to feel for some of these guys who bet on the fuel-safe strategy and almost got to the end under green just for this caution to come out with 5 laps to go.
You know what was really interesting to see there, and I'll see if we can catch them a little further up. I don't know who it was that went flying past, but there was a couple of cars that got a wave by there that were absolutely charging. Mitch Curry and Luke Speck. They reckon that they can get around here and back onto Sorry, it's Luke Speck and it might be... It's Darren Lofton, sorry. The two sideways esports cars. Took me a moment just to figure out what order they're in. Luke Speck's still a lap down. Lofton is on the lead lap. He's got to be thinking that he can make it back around to that lead group before we go green again. And
if he can make it around, he's going to be in 9th place. He might have about 3 laps to do something. Lofton has looked very racy all day. He's been probably the driver, at least in the second half of the race, who has had the best command of the outside line, who has had the best understanding of how to run between the middle group and between that wall to maximize your side draft off of both and get a really good run. So I think Lofton is going to be capable of doing something here on the restart, especially if he can get to the outside, but he's got to pick up the pace a little bit to make sure he gets to the back of these guys before the restart.
Well, he is right there, and I don't think we've got the safety car coming in on this lap just yet.
Okay, he'll be just fine.
I think the lights are still on the safety car at the moment, so I think it looks like he's made it, because there's Luke Speck going past with the wave around. The lights are still on the safety car, so we still have a significant way to go under safety car. We are really only going to have a few laps of all-out sprint here to finish this one off, which is amazing. I cannot tell you how happy I am that it's going to come down to a few laps and probably just a matter of hundreds or thousands of seconds of a second at the line for the win here. It is going to be a very, very close thing, but just about everyone that's on that lead lap is still in it. Luke Speck is absolutely motoring to try and get back around here, and he should have time to do it. Out in front, Ryan Palmer, Hayden Veld will be the ones to lead it away. Isaac Edwards is in amongst it, Josh Harris, Rory Collins, Dean Powers is here as well. Brian East could feature. Darren Lofton is just off the back. Alistair McLeod's back in it. Luke Patton's just coming out of the pit lane. Luke Speck has had a bit of a moment. He's been pushing so hard to try and get back to it that he's done himself a bit of mischief. Mitch Curry's trying desperately, but he's off the lead lap. Luke Patton here, I don't think will quite make it back around. But there is a good chunk of the top 10, the top 9 here will all absolutely be there, ready for the restart and ready to battle us out. There goes Mitch Curry, gets himself back onto the lead lap just barely, and Ian Ward I think picked up an extra lap there as well.
Just saying safety car in this lap, and I want to say that they're coming into turn 3 right now, so those guys are just going to have to absolutely put the pedal down to get around here, but I don't think they're going to be able to make it.
Oh look, stranger things have happened, right? Ignore the safety car problems, folks. That's just iRacing. Playing games with the automated messaging that we've got set up here. The safety car is absolutely about to come in. We're just about to go green flag racing, and we have a top 11 cars all in the hunt here. Realistically, at least the top 5 or 6 have a really good shot at that, but we've got 3 laps, and here we go. Green flag racing, Hayden Veld behind Ryan Palmer as Palmer gets the jump. And in the background, I think Dean Powell coming past Josh Harris timed it perfectly. He got on that very, very early, gets ahead, and he'll be leading the second group. Brian East, and Alistair McLeod behind Josh Harris will be trying to get a push along. Harris and East will be talking here about some bump drafting. Out in front, Ryan Palmer has fallen off as Veld starts to get a push from Rory Collins. Watch the side draft though. It's played havoc all night with this, and well, here they come. That's Jackson Starrett, who is a lap down just ahead of these guys. Hopefully he doesn't get caught up in amongst it. And we have 2 racing lines going. We are on to lap 124, the penultimate lap.
Here we go, McLeod on the outside going for the lead.
I think we've got to stay with this camera from here, honestly, Boone, because
yeah, it looks like
this is tightening up into a very, very compact little group.
Oh yeah, this is going to be good. McLeod, I thought he was going to get it. He had the push from Brian East. Here he comes again. He may still have it. He may still have it. He's not quite clear yet, and they're not going to get there into the corner. East goes up into the wall, and he's going.
That's Harrison
There
down,
they
Lofton
go.
around.
I think that was Lofton and East, and that is the last thing that McLeod possibly
We're
wanted to
full wide.
see. He's got a
We're
black
full
flag now
wide.
too.
What is going on? Jackson Starrett in amongst it. There's collision. Hayden Veld, Alistair McLeod out of it. Jackson Starrett was not in that fight, and he's been caught up in it. That means Ryan Palmer, Dean Powell, Brian East still in it in third place. Josh Harris got taken out early. These three find themselves the gap. Rory Collins and Isaac Edwards surely too far off the back to make this now. This is going to come down to the final turns. We are on the final lap here, ladies and gents. There is not a lot left in this one. There's the bus stop. Nobody taking it this time around. Just 2 corners in the sprint to the finish. Look at Brian East. He's looking high. He's looking for the extra bit of pace from that side draft. Ryan Palmer just maintaining that line. A bit of a nudge there from Dean Powell. They're going to go side by side. They're coming quickly towards the line here. Who's going to take it? Ryan Palmer still in front. Brian East creeping around the outside. It's a close one. It's a 0.00 finish between Palmer and East. Dean Powell just 0.04 of a second off. 0.07 off for Rory Collins. We're going to have to wait for the official word to come through after this race. I don't know whether that was Palmer or East, but that is the sort of finish that you expect at a Daytona 500, and today does not disappoint.
That is not the sort of finish I expected at Daytona 500. I've never seen a finish that close in iRacing. That is one of the most exciting things I've ever watched. Throw a blanket over your top three. Top 3 finishers here separated by 0.04 seconds, and it's legitimately too close to call with Palmer and East. It looks like it was Palmer, but East was coming. He was charging so hard on the outside line that I thought he had it in the moment, but they're saying Palmer. The telemetry is saying Palmer.
Starrett gives Ryan Palmer a congratulatory cuddle there at the end. It does kind of put a stop to his burnouts, though. To be fair, Brian East almost had him. What we're seeing on the telemetry here is that it was in the end a 100th gap. But we'll take a look at the final race results here. What an absolutely crazy finish to this race for the night. The official results come through. Ryan Palmer in the end by 0.05 of a second over Brian East. Absolutely nothing in it at all. I would have thought it was close to that. I'm absolutely going to go back and grab a still shot of the finish to share with the MC Discord, because there was nothing in that at all. Dean Powell only just off the back of that battle. Rory Collins comes home in 4th ahead of Luke Speck. Isaac Edwards and Mitch Curry somehow find themselves back in amongst it despite all the issues for them tonight. Alistair McLeod and Josh Harris managed to recover and stay on the lead lap. Then we get into the drivers that were a lap down. Luke Patton finishes out the top 10. Hayden Veld, despite being in amongst it all night, finds himself down in 11th after that late crash. Thomas Kuhl, honestly, you've got to feel for him, but you've also got to take the hat off for him to still finish in 12th after being caught in just about every incident that happened tonight. Behind them, Darren Lofton and Rafael Custodio, then Ian Ward and Jackson Starrett. John Williamson finishing in 17th, and then the earlier retirements of Grant Bartine and Saragi rounding out the top 20. An absolutely just mental night of racing, and look, I think you couldn't have hoped for better. One man who'll be absolutely cheering, Ryan Palmer, joins us in the booth. G'day, DJ. How are you, my friend?
Oh yeah, not bad, bro. What's going on?
Look, I have not seen a finish like that for a while. How much time did you spend looking over at Brian East in that last couple hundred meters?
That's where literally all I was. I got one bump from Dean and I was like, oh no. And then he started to go, I don't know what was going on, but I just saw Brian. I tried to drift up to try and get a bit, on the side. I don't know, man. There was just a whole lot going on. 0.006, I think it was. Wow, that was mega.
Yeah, our telemetry ended up telling us 0.004 at the line. Wow. So absolutely nothing in it. I'm going to try and get us a bit of a view of it here for the replay as well. But really nothing in it. I almost thought that Brian had you after you got a pretty heavy nudge from Dean there, just coming out of the final turns, but managed to keep it straight, mate. How was that? A bit of fun tonight, obviously, but 125 laps on Gen 3 supercar tyres. A bit of effort involved in that one, I reckon.
Yeah, well, there was a bit of effort considering I was also dealing with the safety cars, the wave arounds, all of that going around, and oh man, yeah, that was a lot. Like, I was trying to get as many people back on the lead lap as we could. Yeah, wow, look at that finish. That's mega. Jeez. But no, that was mad fun. Running 3 wide, like I think we were 3x3 for 15 odd laps before. I mean, Jackson was a pest. He was an absolute pest.
In the end, though, he did clear out Hayden Veld for you at the end there, so you can't hold it against him too much, can you?
Yeah, no. Oh, look, I'm not too upset, but yeah, there was definitely a bit of biff and barge right at the end there, and yeah, it was a bit hard to keep some lines when people were, shifting left and right, but yeah, I thought it was done and dusted with like 20 to go, and it didn't help. I was trying to get Isaac to work with me, and he didn't, so I was like, I'll just go by myself. So I think someone was pushing me who ended up catching the leaders. I think it was Josh, and there was like 3 or 4 other cars. So, yeah, we ended up catching the leaders within a couple of laps. So, yeah, and then safety car came out. I actually threw a yellow as we were coming to the line, and it says it was too late to throw a yellow because it threw the white flag.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
It's, yeah, look, a pretty wild kind of night here tonight. I'm just fielding a couple of questions from the chat. Around pit stops. So the most pit stops tonight, by my count, was tied between Luke Speck and Darren Lofton, both on 14. Ian Ward on 13 as an honourable mention. So plenty going on there. But mate, from your perspective, 5 pit stops, nice tidy run, brilliant little drive to take out the Aussie Daytona 500. A phenomenal finish. Anyone you want to say thanks to, mate? Anyone you want to give a shout out to at home?
Well, specifically you guys for doing this. I see Boone in here as well, so nice of him to jump in. You for sitting around for the last nearly 2 hours. And then I believe, obviously Josh is racing. We've got H, I think, racing, and Beck as well. She wasn't feeling well today, so she just saw this and decided to have a watch. But no, that was good fun. Yeah, as I said, it was hard, man. I was trying to throw a yellow right at the end there, and it's like, nope, we've thrown a white already. So I was like, what do we do? So, but no, that was good fun.
Well, look, all's well that ends well. We'll wrap it up with a little bit of a look at a little bit of a look at the burnouts that you managed to get in. Honestly, I reckon it's one of your best liveries, which is probably saying more about the other ones that I've seen you put together, mate. But yeah, it's been an experience here in the booth, and I hope everyone else has enjoyed it out there on track as much as they seem to have done. Jackson Starrett will come flying into the background here in just a second, I'm pretty sure, to say hello to you.
I think I'll do one more loop, and then there he is. Look at him, he's hunting me down. I saw him and I tried to avoid him.
I need some Jaws music here because you were so keen on celebrating with a good set of burnouts, and you'd barely got the smoke flowing, and he's lined you up from all the way back there.
I was actually nearly out of fuel. I finished with a litre and a half. Yeah, I finished with a litre and a half of fuel, yeah. I actually had to fuel save in that last stop.
That'll about do it for our replay. I don't think there's a better one I could have ended it on.
Nice.
Ryan, thanks for dropping in to have a chat to us, mate. Congratulations on the win tonight.
Yeah, cheers, boys. Cheers for the coverage.
Always good fun. Ryan Palmer takes the win in this very, very special MC birthday bash event. We're joined now by the man himself, Mitch Curry. Welcome on into the booth.
Hey gentlemen, how are we?
Mate, I am significantly more calm and relaxed than I think most people out on that track were in the last 20 laps. How about you?
Mate, I was about 3 laps down until DJ gave me them all back, so I wasn't too worried at all, to be honest.
Look, good fun from the booth. We had some interesting moments there that I think everyone's going to look back on pretty fondly, but an amazing finish in the end. Only 4,000th of a second between Ryan and Brian at the front end.
That's insane.
You couldn't have scripted it any better, mate. I'll send some photos through to the Discord a little bit later on. But from your perspective, let's talk about the event and the reason for it. The MC Birthday Bash. It's 2 years. Somehow, 2 years of MC Motorsport League. It's been a massive evolution from where it started 2 years ago to where it is now. And you know, we have events like this that are a bit of fun to celebrate it, but when you take a look at the serious racing that's going on, how are you feeling about, you know, being at the head and trying to keep it all together and keep delivering the sort of quality of racing that we're seeing now?
Oh, it's definitely stressful. It's one of those things you got to deal with, especially if you want to be, you know, the owner of a league, creator of a league, admin of a league. You know, I've got a really good team behind me with Josh, Piggy and DJ there who won, so congratulations to him tonight also. But no, I mean, you get a good team behind you. You look forward to every race meet because you know everything's going to run smoothly. The boys do a really good job as well, but no, we've really sort of established ourselves with, you know, the GT3 side of things. No, we're doing pretty well with that. Like, I mean, the championship's always tight. The racing's always good. Thus, this season's been a little bit rough. But we have clamped down on that. You know, that will happen though when you've got 40+ car grids every week with 3 different classes running at the same time, which we fully expected. But other than that though, look, you know, MC is just going from, you know, step to step. We're doing pretty well here. Look, if anyone wants to come and join, I'm pretty sure the Discord links under the video description.
Discord links are always there, mate. Every week, every time we put on an MC event, you can find the link to the Discord in the YouTube description down below. So if you've been watching this and you've been wondering about joining up, absolutely hit it up. It's a great bunch of blokes and some fantastic racing tonight notwithstanding.
Yeah, tonight was a little bit different. We just do something different for our second birthday. Each year we have a birthday race. And our initial one was V8s versus MX-5s at Daytona, so we just threw this one straight to Daytona in V8s, and I had a ball. Everyone was having a laugh, and it was absolute carnage and chaos, but everyone knew that was what was going to be. You know, we're not oval racers. The majority of us definitely aren't. You know, when we got that 10, 15, 20 lap stint of, you know, 3 wide, 3 deep, and it just kept going. We're all laughing and having a ball in there, mate. So, no, but 2 years of MC, it's sort of flown by, to be honest. Like, it only feels like yesterday where I'd had enough of GT7 and said to the boys, right, I'm going to start an iRacing league. Let's go do something there. And then I've had a lot of help along the way. You know, from yourself, Jared, starting off with the streaming. I've had a lot of help from guys jumping in to do race control in season 1 and 2 for no money. They just wanted to see it succeed. So I can't thank all those guys enough. Especially, you know, all my admin team, all the drivers of MC, you guys as well. Like, you know, you do your stream, and I'm slightly biased, but I will say it's easily the best I've seen, mate. It's incredible. The visuals, the commentary, it's all fantastic, and you know, I recommend you guys to everyone. But no, it's just good to see MC going from strength to strength.
It has been an absolute pleasure to watch the evolution and to be involved in a race here and there as well, just for, you know, a bit of fun as well.
Yep.
But looking forward to what is to come over the next 12 months. Obviously, we've still got the MC GT3 season to finish up over the next few weeks, give or take. But then, of course, the rest of the season's lined up for the remainder of this calendar year. Plenty of opportunity for people to keep joining in and start the new season fresh after this MC GT3 one, right?
Yeah, that's correct. You know, all we ask for is just a D1.0 license and anything above 500 iRating. I mean, we do judge people on pace and stuff as well to where they go with pre-qualifying, stuff like that. But all we ask for is you just try and be as clean and respectful as possible and jump in, have a bit of fun. We don't take everything, you know, too seriously. We like to have a bit of fun while we're racing, and then get some awesome trophies, bit of prize money at the end of the year, and a bit of bragging rights over beating everyone else.
Well, mate, it has been, as always, a pleasure to cover this one again this year, and looking forward to the third birthday bash being even bigger and better. A huge happy birthday, not only to Thomas Cool tonight, who probably deserves a bit of a gift from someone, given how bad he had out there on track, but a massive, massive happy birthday to MC Motorsport, mate. Congrats on one of the very best leagues in Australia, and may it continue to grow from here on.
Much appreciated, mate. Thank you very much. And we're just very lucky to have you on board as well, mate. That makes our product look even better and gets it out there in the world as well, on the YouTube world. And makes us look very, very good, mate, through your stream. So thanks very much.
Always a pleasure, Mitch. Thanks for dropping by, mate. We will chat again very soon.
Pleasure.
Mitch Curry, the man himself behind MC Motorsport. I don't think there's much more to say on that one, Boone. It's been a wild finish to what was always going to be a pretty crazy bit of racing, and I am absolutely spent at this point. A massive thank you to you, mate, for jumping up at stupid o'clock US time to come and join in, and a few well wishes for your cat in the chat. Hopefully all is good on that end, and it's not an ongoing issue, mate. But thank you again for jumping in and lending your oval experience to a very, very unusual set of cars around Daytona.
Yeah, of course. I want to say, first of all, nobody at home worry. The kitty's okay. She likes to scare me occasionally, and I was I was away from my house. I was actually out of state for pretty much all of yesterday. I only got back in a couple hours before the race, so I had not had time to be with her, and I'll explain it more to you after the race, Jared, but it was great to be here. It was my first interaction with MC Motorsport, and it was what a first impression for them to make in those final 70 or so laps. With that finish, that was one of the most exciting races I've ever had the chance to commentate. It was a fantastic experience. I really appreciate the opportunity, and just a great race.
Yeah, look, they put on a decent event, MC, and it's not just these special events. It's every race, every week that we do cover with them that always delivers something pretty special. But that will do it for us here at Simple Racing Broadcast. We're going to wrap it up. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage and the event tonight. Keep an eye out, of course, for more racing action next week. We'll be back on Tuesday night with the Alliance Sim Racing Supercar Series, and of course the next round of the MC Motorsport GT3 Championship on Wednesday night. We will look forward very much to seeing you all there. Again, until then though, please do look after yourselves. Take care. From all of us here at Simple, it is goodbye for now.